Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. And it's now episode 430. In this episode, we're going to go over the NFL playoff picture as it currently stands, talk about all the teams that are in the playoff picture. We're also going to have some NBA talk in this episode, our biggest takeaways after the first month of the NBA season, and talk about much, much more. Also, give our Thanksgiving NFL game predictions, Black Friday predictions. We got those going on. And PrizePicks plays. Fellas, how are we doing?
I'm doing pretty excellent. I've been celebrating Victory Monday, it seems like every week. It's just been an unbelievable ride for my Denver Broncos. Pick'em fell short this week, unfortunately. My reign at the top was extremely short-lived. We'll be back. FanDuel was hitting this weekend for sure. Hit a bet yesterday, actually. Shout out. We did hit. That was awesome to say. Thank you very much. We don't even need the applause. It was awesome. Shout out to the heads on playback. They watched me bring home a nice W. We needed that. I needed to feel something on a Monday night. But other than that, I'm excited to talk some ball.
No, John, where's the shit?
I just forgot to tell him to make it, to be honest, and we're going to start the show. It's already late.
God forbid John was on top of me like, yo, Joel, you need a thumb?
Be like, yo, I see in the chat you guys are about to record. You think you need a thumbnail for that?
Completely forgot he's in the chat.
Taking a quick break in the show, NFL PrizePicks plays.
Yes,
Thanksgiving games. We got 3 of them going on. There's a lot of plays to pick from. Drew, what are you going with?
Easy money, cash money. They say my boy can't play in the cold. He's going to prove everybody wrong. I'm taking not just a regular play. Yep. I want the demon. Give me Tua Tagovailoa more than 1.5 touchdowns. He's going to slay some demons of his own and light it up versus the Packers.
On the other side, I'll take my light-skinned brother, DJ Moore. He's been back past 2 weeks. We'll go 52.5, more than that. I'm always going more because that's just the type of things I like to do.
And we're staying on the Bears right now. Caleb Williams has been playing fantastic. I think he will continue on Thanksgiving. More than 228.5 passing yards. Caleb Williams is going to have a big-time day. Potentially upset the Lions. I don't know. That might be pushing a little bit too far.
8 losses,
but Caleb has looked fantastic. And for everybody out there, there is a free Tyreek Hill square on PrizePicks. Make sure you guys take advantage of that.
Just 1 yard.
Please play responsibly and help support the podcast. Use code PAS. Play $5 and get $50. It helps support the pod, and we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I just saw John the other day. We did our draft. I'll play him next week, so I'm excited for that.
Oh,
he's on Boston, right?
No, I'm a captain. Yeah, he's Boston. I was Boston. I was Boston last season.
You're a clown. Who are you?
I'm the Knicks now. Yeah,
okay.
I've transitioned to the New York Knicks.
How'd the draft go?
I picked all my friends. So
okay.
Yeah,
what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to be a good team?
No, I have Ruben.
Who's the leader of the team?
Of my team? Me.
Probably Ruben. Don't lie.
It's me. That's definitely me.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Is he a vocal leader?
He's loud.
More loud than he is.
He yells.
Keep going.
He yells like fuck. Just screaming and hollering. He's like Draymond, just yelling.
I wouldn't call. I think that's Seb.
No, Seb is like.
I think Draymond's fair.
Seb is like.
You're gonna crack me up with a name you're gonna say.
I'm trying to think. Seb is like Ron Artest.
PJ Tucker.
Nah, PJ. PJ
He might have did something there.
Nah, yeah, we play next week. It's basically his friends versus my friends. That's really what it is. John picked all his friends, but
I can see the picture being painted.
Yeah, actually, apparently 2 of his friends are black.
Oh,
so shocked the shit out of me.
Get out of here.
Yeah. One is like 6'3".
Okay.
Excited to see that. So, but other than that, I had a good weekend. My Eagles.
Athleticism is about to be off the
No,
charts.
he said he's really athletic, so I'm actually very excited to see that. But my Eagles caught another W, another dominant weekend. Just continue
another day at the office.
Another day at the office. Just continue to move up the respect board. And
I saw some stat. You guys are number 1 in yard differential in the NFL. It's by like 400 yards.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have outgained opponents by close to 13.
Saquon Barkley, man.
He's a daddy.
Thank you, Giants. I just.
That ass.
Oh my God.
You guys had the week off of suffering.
Thank God.
This was a weird week for me, man. You've been celebrating Victory Monday. For me, it's a little bit of a downturn. This week the Packers won, but the Chargers lost. Some of those
I've been
teams,
seeing
man,
you move with Chargers.
They want
Nation.
me bad. They want me
It's
bad.
disgusting. They don't know that you love Patrick Mahomes, it seems, and Joe Burrow.
They do. Both. They do. They know that. Somebody commented something very heartwarming to me, and it made me reconsider my fandom entirely.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
They commented. They said, "Listen, Joel, just come to the Chargers. The Jets don't deserve you, bro." And I said, "You're right, dude. I really appreciate that." So that made me think about it a little bit, But I don't know if I'm ready to make a commitment just yet. I'm steady in my toxic
That damn
relationship.
Texans win, man. That damn Texans win. If it
What
wasn't
could've
for that,
been?
we wouldn't be here.
No, honestly, really. It had to be that game. It was a sign because the week after they got
They
embarrassed.
haven't won since.
So that's how it is. The Jets won Thursday against the Patriots and they had a losing streak. Then they beat the Texans on Thursday. Then they had a losing streak.
Don't win on Thursdays. So
That's what it is. We just got to play on Thursday from here on
Or
out.
only play Thursdays.
So are you a Chargers fan?
I'm rooting for them to succeed. I wouldn't say I'm a Chargers
Are the
fan,
Chargers number 2 on your? Oh, I don't even know if the Jets are number 1. Are the Chargers number 1 on your list?
Where's
Number
the
one?
Packers
Because
landed
you
those?
have definitely been riding hard for the Chargers this year, harder than I think any other team
Easily.
in the NFL.
It's not even close.
Haven't heard you
Seahawks
speak-
are up there. Seahawks are up there.
Seahawks.
True.
I heard you speak about your boy in Green Bay, man.
Really, because the Packers just been winning, and it's like they haven't faced anybody that
He has a
is
signature game or
a
big
signature
win.
game. It's just been games that they're supposed to win. Every time we get on pick them, we're like, the Packers they should win this game.
Mm-hmm.
They won 6 of their last 7 quietly. For I don't know, like if I were to rank the teams, I guess I just really love what the Chargers are building right now.
Absolutely.
I just think what they're doing defensively, Jim Harbaugh effect, the speeches. I mean, I watch all their post-game speeches with the smile on my face equally. Even the Packers with Matt LaFleur. Giving the game ball to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was
you're a
like,
fan.
Josh Jacobs was like, I'm really proud to work alongside you boys, man. You guys, winning, this means a lot to me. And I was like, that's real. And then with the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh's slogan is "Who has it better than us?" And he gets them hyped up, man.
He does.
I'm just hoping that J.K. Dobbins is okay because he
haven't
got
heard
hurt.
anything.
Yeah, I don't. The fact that we haven't heard anything tells me that it's not like season ending. Hopefully. I'm really praying for that. But yeah, no, I thought the Chargers were doing well against the Ravens until he went out. Then they couldn't run the ball at all.
He was explosive. He looked like he had another gear in him because Gus Edwards came in. He got the touchdown at the end, but he had 8 carries for 10 yards.
9
He was
carries,
not doing
11
anything.
yards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
it was an ugly game. They were able to run it though. The Dobbins was averaging 5 a carry, close to.
We got to be more this weekend.
Big
I'm
game.
excited.
They need to
Big
flex that.
game. It's 425 game, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
I'm not against that.
I need that to be a real 8-20
I
night
love
vibe.
a 425 game. I love it.
I don't mind it. I feel like night winding down, you ready to relax.
What's Sunday night this
big
week?
time game? Sunday
I know
night.
Monday we got Browns Broncos.
See, we can easily flip that.
You want to be the Monday night game?
I wouldn't mind that.
Sunday's Niners Bills.
It's gonna snow like fuck that day. Actually,
Really?
yeah.
Hopefully
I was
Purdy
looking
plays.
at the Bills
If
report.
Purdy doesn't play, we're getting robbed.
Yeah.
That game is over anyway.
Yeah.
The Bills are gonna win.
The Bills
regardless.
probably are going to win
Snow game.
regardless,
Who
but
plays?
Big
if
look.
Purdy doesn't play,
That's
I might
two
not watch
actually
it.
elite games for me. I'm actually pretty excited.
How valuable does Aiyuk look right now, Joel?
He looks very valuable. I mean, he always was valuable. Even when Jawan Jennings was exploding, Aiyuk was getting open.
It's not even on Juwan.
It's not.
Debo fell off. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. He fell off. I don't know what to say.
The Niners, I don't know.
We're
People
talking
want
about the
to,
Niners.
we will. People want to blame Shanahan for some of the things. I don't think he really got much to do with it. Like the offense has dropped off because CMC got hurt and he hasn't really played this year. And in the games that he has played, he hasn't looked explosive at all. But that's expected coming off an injury. It's just the Niners right now. It's their special teams, really. That's it. Yeah, they've lost multiple games off of not having a kicker, off of missing field goals, off of big-time punts they let up, kick returns. They have the worst special teams, I think, only ahead of the Titans, who are by far and away the worst, who every week give up a big-time special teams play.
You hear a lot about offense. You hear a lot about defense. You rarely hear about special teams. You know how bad you have to be for us to be talking about your special teams? Like, it's got to be pretty catastrophically terrible. But an interesting show ahead. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, like the Chargers, last thing I'll say, the Chargers, I think one year were number one in offense and defense, but last in special teams, and they missed the playoffs.
That does also remind me of the Packers. Although their offense really didn't do much against the Niners that year, their special teams was atrocious. Get a blocked punt. That ends up being the difference in the game. You end up losing, what, 13-7? Yikes.
So we're going to talk about the NFL playoff picture. Going to go conference to conference first. We're going to start off with the AFC. We have the Chiefs 10-1, number 1 seed. The Bills 9-2, second seed. The Steelers 8-3, third seed. They are the third seed.
Yeah.
The Texans 7-5, the fourth seed. The Ravens 8-4, the fifth seed. the Chargers 7-4, the 6th seed, and the Broncos 7-5, the 7th seed. We can talk about the teams that are in the race right now, then get into the teams that are in the bubble hoping to get in. I think the first quick question we should get out the way is, do you believe that these are going to be the final 7?
These are the 7 I have in. Damn. I do think Miami's going to make it close because their rest of the season schedule is light.
So easy.
But I look at the other teams too. The rest of the season for the Broncos, it's pretty damn late. The Chargers, I don't know off the top of my head actually the Chargers schedule.
So Chargers is very similar to the Broncos.
Okay, so that should be fine. And they've just been playing so damn good.
Can I say I don't love our rest of the season schedule? Like the last 3 weeks goes Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs.
That's tough.
That is pretty difficult.
And you can't sleep on the Browns either, even though, you know.
I won't disagree. We should beat them.
The thing is, you're already 7-5.
Yes.
Realistically, you get 2 more wins. You're sitting like 9-8 is probably going to get you a playoff spot this year.
I think we can we have a legit chance to beat the Chiefs. We have a legit chance to beat the Chargers.
I agree.
We have a legit chance to beat every team there. Do I see us going 3-0? I'll be lying if I said that.
Honestly, as long as you win one of those games, I think you should feel pretty confident.
I think you're right, but I look at that Chiefs game that we ended up losing. That could come back and haunt us.
Definitely.
Because that's a legitimate moment where if we make that kick, we win that game, we're in way different conversations now. Like, extremely different. We beat one of the best teams in the league, arguably the best team in the league. You're 100% right. Now we have a 3-game lead on the wild card. Now it's
you said Chargers,
Bengals, Chiefs to end the season.
There's a chance you lose all those games.
I don't know.
Who do you play this weekend?
Browns.
We play the Browns.
It's the Browns.
And then we have our bye. And then we come back off the bye, Colts, and then Chargers.
The Bengals are still fighting for something. I don't think they'll get in, but
still.
No, we already played the Chargers.
last week.
Correct.
Basically, the remaining schedule for the Broncos is the Browns, Colts, Chargers, Bengals,
Chiefs.
and Chiefs.
Yes.
You basically go in these next 2 games, the Colts and the Browns, you should win. And for the most part, especially this last month, you've been beating the teams you're supposed to be beating.
I argue they're must-wins.
Yeah, I think so too, because those last 3 are tough. Even Cincinnati, who has been struggling to win, they can still score.
Agreed.
You know, and no matter how great that defense is. And I think Kansas City's going to be playing for something week 18. You know, losing to the Bills is going to be huge because they're going to have the tiebreaker. So there's a chance that Kansas City's going into that game playing for the 1 seed. When I basically like redid the how I see it like finishing. I had Buffalo as number 1 seed. I think having the tiebreaker over Kansas City and the rest of the season schedule would have them as the best record in the AFC. So Casey's probably going to be playing for something week 18.
Fair enough. I'll say this, and the last thing. Going up against the Bengals, you said that's a game. I mean, you're saying we have a chance to lose all of them. I get it. They're good teams. I look at the Bengals, though, and you mentioned how they score points against any team. Last team they really didn't score against was the Philadelphia Eagles. They were able to get pressure on Joe Burrow, really make him uncomfortable. We're one of the best at getting to the quarterback.
Is Zach Allen's injury serious?
They're saying it's a heel injury. They played it safe. He can play. Right now it's a iffy one that they're not sure whether or not he's going to suit up on Monday, but it's not serious.
Okay,
I think
same thing with Riley Moss, that they were contemplating bringing him back in. He had the MCL, but they decided to play it safe.
I think looking at all these team schedules, I mean, I'm looking at Miami's schedule. That's probably the toughest of the 5 groups. I mean, they have some, like, Houston doesn't look as bad as it looked probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. They play Houston.
They got the Packers this week. They got the Jets twice, though.
Yeah. And Tua does own the Jets.
I'm going to be real with you, dude. I think this is the easiest schedule of the guys in the hunt.
I think the Bengals, they have Pittsburgh.
I think the Colts is the easiest schedule.
Pittsburgh, Dallas, Tennessee, Cleveland, Denver, Pittsburgh.
It's wrong with me to sleep on them? Like, I'm not even thinking about the Colts in this picture.
They're 6-5.
So they're 5-7. They are at the Patriots.
5-7, brother. They're cooked.
But they're not cooked.
The Dolphins are
5-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at their schedule. At the Patriots, at Broncos versus Titans, at Giants versus Jaguars. There's what?
They would just need Denver to collapse.
There's one loss in there.
Can you read it to me one more time, King?
At Patriots, at Broncos versus Titans, at Giants versus Jaguars.
Titans, sneaky.
Division game.
Broncos, that's the one that I'm assuming you think is the L. You said
Texans?
No, Titans.
Titans. Yeah, that's division
Giants
game.
and Jags.
Giants and Jags,
Texans,
yes.
Jags
divisional
division game.
Jags division game.
Well, they ain't going to be playing for nothing.
Yo,
at the end of the
Titans
week,
sneakily last couple of weeks been playing decent ball.
They have been, yeah, for sure. Will Levis has been playing a lot better than he was, or at least making big plays happen compared to earlier in the season.
You would need Denver to collapse.
beautiful.
You would need Denver to seriously collapse.
Yeah, right now it's
5 and
difficult.
7's tough because you need that Colts team. The defense has been playing better. I saw you talking about that. It's definitely has been. But that offense, I know Richardson. We come in here every week, and you know how much of a fan I am for Richardson. But every week we come in and be like, it's not his fault. The 11 for 28, it really wasn't that bad. But when he comes in every single week, it's the same shit. It might not even be on Anthony Richardson. But eventually, it's just this trend offensively of making mistakes, having drops, having penalties. They've been struggling to run the ball. They have played a couple tough opponents, but Jonathan Taylor has not been able to get anything going. I'm almost more scared about the offense than the defense now. Josh Downs is a little bit banged up too, so I get it. The schedule is really easy, but the Colts they're 5 and 7, so they could really only afford one more loss. Are the Colts gonna go 4 and 1 the rest of the way?
The last 2 weeks has impressed me a lot.
For sure.
I think right now his nickname is Despite the Box Score. Because I really do think the flashes for him, the high-end flashes, are really freaking good.
Yeah, I agree.
And versus the Lions, there's 2 games that I watched closely at the 1 p.m. slate. It was the Bears and the Vikings, and it was the Lions and the Colts.
Banger.
The Lions and Colts game was much closer than the score indicated. The Colts were forcing the Lions to punt multiple times. It's just the Colts offense, whenever they got a big play down the field, it's getting called back. It's a penalty, 10-yard penalty, or you have a drop. You had a touchdown drop by Ogletree. They couldn't run the ball at all, but Richardson was still pushing the ball down the field. And this is a stat that caught my eye the most, is that he was pressured 46.7% of the time, and he took 0 sacks. There have only been 3 instances this year where a quarterback has been pressured 40% or more of the time and took 0 sacks. Richardson has 2 of those games. And just for reference, Baker Mayfield is the only other quarterback in Week 12 to take 0 sacks. He was pressured 6% of the time.
Yeah,
it
Giants,
just goes to show, like,
Richardson
is not taking sacks. He's not taking those negative plays. And he is making plays. Like, I know 11 for 28 doesn't look good, but despite the box score, like, the throws he's making, they're really high level. And I think he got a lot of criticism for not being ready, I guess, for what the Colts have to offer, because he doesn't give them the best chance to win. But I think it's the opposite. I think the Colts right now, they have no standard. The Colts are a sloppy offensive football team. Their offensive line is kind of a mess. Quentin Nelson just had his worst game, and they're starting like 2 or 3 rookies right now on that offensive line. The receivers, Richardson leads the NFL in receiver errors on his throws. They cause a lot of drops, and they don't come down with plays, and Richardson for sure has his fair share of mistakes as well. So I think right now it's just the Colts' entire operation is a bit flawed, and Richardson took the bulk of the blame for that. But, you know, all that to say that I think if the Colts can go on a little bit of a heater, I can see them finishing at 9-8. The same record they finished with last year. I don't think they're going to just win every single game. They're too much of an inconsistent team to do that. But I do think they are a respectable in the hunt team.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the Texans schedule because we were talking about wild card. But looking at the Texans schedule, the Colts could win the division because the rest of the season, Texans have the Jaguars this week. That should be a W. But then you have a 3-game slate of the Dolphins.
We don't know that anymore.
True. Jaguars coming off a bye. Never know. You have 3-game stretch, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. And they finish the season against the Titans, who they just lost to.
Go 0-3 next.
So, I mean, there's a strong chance you go 0-3. Now we're sitting here, what are they, 7-5 right now? So they'll be 7-8 potentially.
But they beat the Colts twice, right?
They did.
So they have the tiebreaker.
Can I also say this? I'm glad you bring that up. 2 years ago, we watched the Titans choke away the division to the Jaguars. Last year, we watched the Jaguars choke away the division to the Texans. Yep. Are the Texans now going to choke away the division to the Colts? That would be pretty crazy because you just mentioned a 3-game stretch that legitimately they can go 0-3.
You have to beat the Jaguars. You have to beat the Titans. And what the Texans have shown us basically all year is there's no guaranteed W for them. No guaranteed W.
It's possible. The Texans are not a good football team. No. Like, they're the biggest pretender. If they get in the playoffs, they are a first-round exit. There's no trust with that team. Like, they're just all around. They just don't function correctly. And C.J. Stroud has tried to be Superman all year long, but he's making mistakes. And, you know, you look at the game against the Lions, I don't care that they're the Lions. If a quarterback throws you 5 interceptions, you have to win that game. Yep. There's no excuse for it. And then against the Titans, the Titans on the very first play off the kick return. The Texans took it 80
Yeah, Dameon
yards.
Pierce had a
They
great
scored
return.
a touchdown on that drive. Will Levis took 7 sacks in the first half, threw a pick 6, and you still lose the game. Like, no, the Texans, you cannot trust them in any game this year.
The better question is, does Pittsburgh win the division?
That's what I was about to ask, Riff.
And that's I feel like that's
you know
the
what I
most.
have.
We know, but that's the most. I feel like that's the most fun and
Steelers
important
ain't
question.
winning the division.
Listen,
They not winning it.
I don't
not
know.
winning
It was my overreaction early on, so I'm rooting for it. At the same time,
Pittsburgh tough.
The
They
schedule's
blew
sneaky.
it. They blew it against Cleveland.
You guys want to hear the schedule right now?
I do know
have
it.
it up.
They do have the Browns again. They have the Bengals twice, if I'm not mistaken. They have the Ravens again.
And the Eagles.
Yeah, it's brutal.
and
we can
the
chalk
Chiefs.
that up. They good.
They got the Bengals, the Browns, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals.
And what's the
last
Ravens
6.
end of the year schedule?
I can tell you right now.
Hey, listen, Pittsburgh's built for this, man. That's all I'm gonna say to y'all.
They love division games.
They love tough teams.
They do.
Shit teams is
You're
when
cooking.
they start acting controlly and start losing. But
So-
against those tough teams, they play hard.
The Ravens have the Eagles this week, so they
Yeah.
both have the Eagles. Then they have the Giants, the Steelers, the Texans, and the Browns. It's a lot easier schedule.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, it's really going to come down to that Steelers game, probably.
Yep.
If they lose, if they go 0-2 against the Steelers, they're probably cooked. If they're able to split, they have life.
Can you read it again for me, King?
Yeah, so they have the Eagles this week.
Yep.
Then the Giants should be a win. The Steelers at home this time. The Texans, and then they finish the year with the Browns.
Okay. The only game that I'm calling a loss early would be the Eagles. That game versus the Steelers, it's a must win.
Yep.
It's a must win. But
They can
other
beat
than
the
that,
Eagles.
they can beat the Eagles. I agree with that. I'm favoring the Eagles right now. They're the more complete team.
I agree.
More
Yeah,
complete.
the defense is a lot better.
Yeah, you'll be sitting there tossing back and forth,
Listen,
brother.
I just wanted Lamar and Jalen Hurts masterclass. That's what I'm here for.
I know
Who
that
are you going to pick this weekend?
He's
got
picking
no
Baltimore.
fucking idea.
You said 17 straight weeks.
I did say 17, so I guess
Gotta lock it.
he's nasty. That being said, it's going to be tough this end of stretch for the Dolphins because I think they legitimately can go on a run and it can be for nothing. They have, like you mentioned already, they have what was coming in a difficult schedule, but now we look at it in hindsight. You have the Green Bay, which I think rest of the season is their most difficult game by far. You look at it now with 2020 vision. That Texans game is very winnable.
Yep.
That Browns game is very winnable as opposed to last year's defense. That's not the same team this year. The Niners, nowhere near the level.
I don't know.
That's in
Your
San Fran,
defense
I
is
think.
really bad.
Who's?
Miami's.
Okay, again,
They're not.
They're not
I don't think
bad.
they're bad defense.
I don't think it's that good.
Their
And
rush
if Brock's
defense
playing-
since getting Seiler back has been drastic. I'll give you your flowers. You said that weeks ago. He came back and he's really made
who's
an
home that
impact.
game?
I think it's in San Fran.
It's in San Fran.
Yeah.
If Brock is playing, I'd favor the Niners.
The thing is, I understand where you're coming from. I get it. The Niners have shown you every
true.
single week that
that's
it's
fair.
not a gimme anymore.
That's fair.
It's really not.
They've lost some bad ones. They lost to the Rams. They just lost last week, 2 weeks ago.
And
I get
this defense, now that Chop Robinson has really broken
been
out
amazing.
since
been
week 8, I figured that we were going to talk about it later when Tua was going to get highlighted, but I'm glad we're kind of combining it now. Since week 8,
I didn't see it to a topic.
no, it doesn't matter. There was, but it doesn't matter. We can literally talk about it now. Chop Robinson since week 8. Chop Robinson since week 8. 28 pressures, that's first in the NFL. 4 sacks, that's tied 5th in the NFL. 21 hurries, that's first in the NFL. 26% win rate, that's first. 128 pass rush snaps, that's 19th. He has been incredible in that span. I don't think that he's done it long enough this season to put himself in Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. But since week 8, since Tua has been back, he legitimately has been a huge impact player. And they've needed that because they don't have Bradley Chubb. They don't have Jalen Phillips. It's really been Zach Seiler, Calais Campbell. They've been waiting on another guy on the edge. Chop has been that guy for them. He's really been that difference maker on that line. And then you talk about the secondary, what Jalen Ramsey's been able to do this season. Obviously, you still have Javon Holland. The secondary has been really good for them. But what's helped them even more so is that they can get after the quarterback, and they've really done a good job of stopping the run recently. But when you look at the Dolphins, what's changed is Tua's back. And Tua being back since week 8, I've been saying it every single week. We know the impact that he brings when he's on the football field. But since he's been back since week 8, top 5 in EPA, and they're either first or second in success rate, dropback EPA, and dropback success rate. Their run game really has not been great. If I'm not mistaken, they're 18th in success rate when it comes to run since Tua has been back. Achane's just been so valuable because he's such a great receiving back, and in the red zone, he's a pretty consistent lock. He's been pretty awesome in that regard. Jonnu Smith's been really good. Finally, just saw Jalen Waddle have his breakout game of the season. Damn. They've really just been waiting on Tyreek Hill. He has been going through the wrist injury, but it's been excellent to see that he's not just Tyreek Hill reliant. He's been able to get Jonnu heavily involved. He's been honestly, and it's not. It's
the last 2 weeks.
It's funny to hear, but it's the truth. Jonnu's been so consistent and reliable for them. So has Devon Achane. But now you get Waddle into the mix. You know Tyreek Hill is always a threat at any point in time, but right now he's just getting so much attention that Tua is just starting to pick apart these defenses. You know he's going to be great at avoiding sacks. I say all this to come to the conclusion that this is a really dangerous team that I believe got put in too strong a hole, and they're going to be looking at that Cardinals and Bills game on the back-to-back of Week 8, Week 9, and that's going to be the reason why they may not be playing football in late December and January. So this is a legitimate team that can make a threat for that last spot, but them blowing it too many times in this season, I think they are going to fall short, and they're just not in the position where they can slip up once. They can't do that. They have to really... Either you get one loss and you have to win out rest of the season with the way that the Broncos and the Chargers have been playing ball.
Tua is so special, man. Came back, Chop Robinson starts eating. Jonnu Smith is fucking having a career year. He's special, man. That's a leader right there. That's a leader.
No, I think the Dolphins can do it. I think they could.
That just killed me because he was like, since Tua came
know,
back,
it's so funny you say that.
It's
so funny you say that. In my head, I'm just like, yo, they're gonna say something about me saying since Tua's been back. It's coincidental. Tua comes back, Chop Robinson that exact same week. Chop?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was hurt. He just a combination of not having playing time and not winning.
Just brings life into
now he's gotten a little bit more opportunity, and he's really been making the most of it. He's been really dominant.
I think the Dolphins can win out.
So funny, Joel. It's true.
The problem is going to be the Packers game. This is going to be the toughest game remaining for them. Thanksgiving game is going to be really cold, so we got to see how they play there. We're
really
gonna
hilarious.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be colder than it is here.
I did see some rain in the
right
some snow possibly in the forecast.
Last snow game. Last cold game wasn't so great against the Chiefs. Won't say not.
Yeah.
Last snow game.
Yes.
He played well against the Bills.
It snowed in Kansas City, did it not?
It might have.
So
I just think
cold.
it was -4, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, Chop's been healthy basically all season.
Yeah.
He's just starting to break out.
The odds that the NFL playoff picture right now is set in stone, I think is unlikely. I think every year unpredictable shit happens with the NFL. So it could be the Chargers, it could be the Broncos, it could be the Texans not making the playoffs.
Yeah, let's say if we had to pick one unpredictable thing to happen, what would we pick?
The Texans.
I would have to pick
can
the
see
Texans.
it. I can see.
But then that'll be the Colts will get in.
Yeah.
It's not even the Dolphins.
It's not exciting.
I think right now we just have to see what the Broncos are made of because their defense is elite. That is true. The offense has been playing really well against some very bad defenses.
Don't disagree.
I even think that, them facing the Browns this weekend, them facing the Colts next week, that's a much bigger challenge than the Raiders defense and the Falcons and the Panthers defense. Chiefs. So even the Chiefs defense, the Chiefs defense is terrible. It's so bad.
No, it's terrible.
Since Jalen Watson has went out, he was top 5 in DVOA. No, the Chiefs' pass defense is one of the worst in the NFL since Week 8. Since Jalen Watson has went out, the rush defense is good.
And
I
played
understand that.
well against them.
But the Chiefs' defense right now is a huge liability, and it's the biggest hindrance to them three-peating this year. Right now, I don't feel comfortable with the Chiefs at all. I think the Bills are the most complete team in the AFC, and I think if there's a team that's going to make it to the Super Bowl and finally knock out the Chiefs or at least make it in the Super Bowl that hasn't been the Chiefs in the last couple of years, it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. I have a lot of belief in the Bills this postseason and what they can do and what they're capable of. But yeah, it's going to be one of those teams. I think the Broncos are probably closer to that edge because the Chargers' schedule isn't that difficult moving forward. And I think they are a better football team. They do have Justin Herbert, and that helps a lot when you have a quarterback of his caliber playing for you. So that's why I feel comfortable about the Chargers. I will say this. If there's a team that does sneak into the playoffs, I think it will be the Dolphins. The Bengals have an outside chance. They're 4-7. but they just got their ping pong table back. And why that matters is that
This guy's got no respect.
ping pong table, that was a fixture in the Bengals locker room.
Sounds
Not
like
that
Halle
big
Berry
problem.
with the bed
And
shit.
it finally has came back to the locker room.
Why did they take it away?
Zach, I don't know why they
were
took it
losing
away.
proudly.
But
Like,
Zach
can't play
Taylor,
fucking
Zach Taylor said that he brought it because he wanted them to have like a feel of like competitiveness in the locker room, whatever. You know, does that make a difference? Who knows? But the Bengals are so dangerous with Joe Burrow playing at the level that he's playing at. Even with the liability that the defense is, they're going to be in every single game. And they could win every game. I mean, all the games they've lost have been super close. Like all of the games
Philly.
they lost.
Now it's
Dangerous.
It's a good thing you say that
Bengals
because
beat a good team challenge.
last time we saw the Bengals was against the Chargers. Their offense really didn't miss a beat in that second half. Now this past week, Chargers go up against the Ravens, a great offense, let 30 points up. Back-to-back weeks, we're seeing the Chargers defense get minorly
great
exposed.
offenses, though.
Great offenses, but a great defense in the Philadelphia Eagles shut down essentially
They didn't
the
have
Cincinnati Bengals.
T. Higgins,
They
though, to
did
be
not
fair.
have T. Higgins. Very fair point. But regardless, I watched a T. Higgins-less Cincinnati Bengals go up against the
Keep cooking, brother.
It's just the truth. The Ravens' defense isn't good, but Joe
pass
Burrow
defense.
had an unbelievable performance. Jamar
250.
Chase had a historic performance. This Chargers defense is way better than the Ravens, but even still, the Ravens were still able to outscore them, allowing 30 points. Derrick Henry had over 100 rushing. Lamar Jackson was pretty great in his own right. It's this defense for the Chargers that, to me, if it goes up against a higher level offense, I don't think it's as great as the statistics say
You
they
calling
are.
it fraudulent?
It just
I've been
depends.
saying we've been saying it for a while. Their schedule has been really light.
I don't think the
They
Chargers
have
defense is fraudulent.
I think
Maybe-
I think they have a good
it's
defense.
fraudulent in
And it's
where
not elite.
in reference to where they stand statistically.
It's not the
No.
Chiefs defense from last year. It's not this elite level unit that's going to be able to shut down
Whose
everybody.
defense is better, the Eagles or the Chargers?
I think the Eagles. I think
Whose
they're
defense is better, the Chargers or the Broncos? See,
No,
this shouldn't be
close.
a thought.
No, it's
Nah, it really
should
shouldn't
thought.
be.
Why
It
should
shouldn't
it
be
be
a
a
thought,
thought?
because I
Hard
think
What
hitting
defense have you shut down? I mean, what offense have you guys shut down?
essentially everyone except the Ravens.
Okay,
Well,
I mean, you
good
can say about
offense.
the
Good
Chargers.
But name the Buccaneers,
Yeah,
the
that's-
Chiefs.
It's good offense.
Chiefs. Okay.
Yep. Cook.
This is the thing with the Chargers defense. No, like they're even if you want to argue between the Broncos, Vikings, Eagles, no, the Chargers are easily a top 10 defense in football. I would
Okay.
say they're top 5. What they do
disagree with this.
schematically is special. What Jesse Minter's doing is special, and they have all of their players playing at a high level. Against the Ravens, they didn't have Denzel Perriman, who's been their best run stopper this year, and they have been playing with 5th-round rookies, Cam Hart and Tarheeb Still, who I'm very high on, but Cam Hart did not play against the Ravens. Christian Fulton came back. Asante Samuel Jr. has been hurt for a while now. They have been able to get elite production from players that we didn't even know coming into the season. So, no, I think that their scheme gives them a very safe floor. This is the thing, and this is why they perform poorly. Number one, it was against the Bengals. In the first half, they shut the Bengals
Did a
offense
very
down.
great job.
In the second half, Joe Burrow just did Joe Burrow things. And there's not going to be a lot of top 4 quarterbacks in the world that you're going to be facing that are going to make the throws that Joe Burrow made against that defense.
And Lamar Jackson did it the week after.
Chargers held the Chiefs. to
Lamar
17.
Jackson had a
No, agreed. But Rashee Rice also got injured in that same game, which is me minorly moving the goalpost. I agree.
Broncos didn't. They didn't have.
But
Rasheed
Lamar
against y'all.
Jackson had 177 passing yards
that's
against
true.
the Chargers.
Say it again?
He had 177 passing yards.
What are you talking about?
Lamar Jackson against the Chargers.
I think it's
Yesterday?
close.
it's the run game that
Yeah, they did. But then also Lamar had a couple great plays of his
No,
own,
he
right?
did, of course. It's Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah.
But the thing is that the Chargers ran into
Scored 30.
a offense that it doesn't fit their strength. It's a weakness for them. They are a light box
Same
team.
for the Broncos.
They're two high safeties. That's what they do. And the Ravens, they're a team that faces the most stacked boxes in the NFL. And they're still elite rushing the football. You're telling me you're facing light boxes? That's why they were able to feast on the ground like that. But you're not going to play a Derrick Henry-led rushing attack every week. Like against the upper echelon teams in the AFC, do I think the Chargers defense is going to have trouble? Yeah. I mean, every defense has trouble with Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and even Joe Burrow. But against the Steelers, against the Broncos, against the Texans, do I think the Chargers are going to be well equipped to go up against those teams? Absolutely.
You guys want to talk about the NFC? Because the NFC was a lot harder for me than the AFC.
That's a fact. It's a lot closer.
Shit,
Way
Baltimore
closer.
put Josh in a box.
They did,
Yeah.
which was insane.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easily their best defensive performance.
So final thoughts. Do you think this is the final playoff picture in the AFC?
I think I'll go Bills 1. I think they finish out 1. Chiefs 2. I'll stick with Pittsburgh at 3. I think they'll stay at 3. I don't mind if Ravens switch over. Houston, I think they still settle in at 4 just because they have the tiebreaker over the Colts. They beat them twice. That does matter. 5, 6, 7. I'll go B more. I'll keep the Chargers in, and I'll keep Denver in. I think the order changes a little bit, but I think these are essentially the 7 teams we see.
Last thing I'll say, we also shut down the Falcons. They only put up 6 points against us. They're a good offense. I like 1 and 2 where they're at. I think the Chiefs, although they might be fool's gold, I can't count them out anymore. They've done me dirty too many times in a row. I think they'll stay 1. Bills would be 2. It's either the Ravens or the Steelers at 3. I think both teams are playoff teams regardless. If you want me to pick a division winner, I'll just side with the Steelers right now because that's who is in first place right now. This 4 spot is what's intriguing me the most because I don't like the Texans, not even at all, in what they've shown me. But the Indianapolis Colts, they have definitely improved from week 1 to now. The offense may not look great statistically and on paper. That being said, this defense really has taken it up a notch. One of the better run stoppers. They've really been a solid run unit, pass unit as well, pass defense unit. I like where they've been headed. Man, it's tough because the Texans' offensive line's really bad. CJ Stroud, I won't really put a lot of blame on him. I think that the play calling has been a lot of the reason why they've not been successful.
The Colts need to be perfect to make it.
But they're only 2 games behind them.
But they also lost twice.
They have the tiebreaker.
They do have the tiebreaker. That's something that you have to keep in mind. It's something I want to see. Let me say, I want to see it. As a fan of the sport, it would be exciting. I'll take Houston. It would be. I'll take Houston. I'll go 5 spot Ravens. I'll go 6 spot. I think the Broncos finish a spot above the Chargers. Chargers would be that 7 spot, just missing out will be the Dolphins.
So Houston loses in the first round, though, very comfortably.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever they play.
But to be honest with you, believe it or not, I think, easy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not changing
Houston
anything up
to.
that much. I just think the Bills will finish with the first seed. I think their schedule is pretty light down the stretch, and Chiefs have some tougher opponents ahead. And then just their pass defense has just been such a huge liability. And I know reinforcements are coming with Hollywood Brown eventually and Pacheco, and they signed G.J. Humphries. The tackle play for them has just been so awful that this is a different Chiefs team. This is a different team. Last year, I know they were in a slump. I still believed in them last year. This year, just different feeling. The Panthers came into this Week 12 matchup against them with 12 sacks on the season. They had 5 against the Chiefs.
Never seen Mahomes sack that many times.
More than a third of their sack total came from this Chiefs game alone.
Was that the most he's ever been sacked in a game?
Was it that Tampa game?
I wonder. I think he was definitely pressured the most in that game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But it's just that the pocket is collapsing on him so quickly, and he's so uncomfortable in those spots. It's just noticeable, and I think if that's going on with the defense on the back end, Bryce Young made some Hollywood throws, and I'm going to give him his props. But also the Chiefs, their defense right now, they're not very good.
Yeah, I got Buffalo as the 1 seed. I do think, looking at the Texans' schedule, I think there's 3 losses guaranteed on their schedule. Baltimore, Kansas City, Miami. I think they're going to lose all 3 of those games. The Colts can do it. They can win that division. And like you guys mentioned, the last 2 years, it's happened. Wouldn't surprise me if it happened again because we've been saying all season long this Texans team is not that good. I do think all the playoff teams remain the same. Baltimore wins the AFC North, though, so Steelers are a wild card team. Chargers, Broncos get in.
NFC playoff picture, the Lions are 10-1, first seed. Eagles, second seed at 9-2. Seahawks, third seed at 6-5.
Disgusting.
How about that?
Disgusting.
Falcons are the 4th seed at 6-5.
Not that the Seahawks are disgusting. That it's a 6-5 team, the 3rd seed. That's disgusting. But continue.
The 5th seed, the 9-2 Vikings. The 6th seed, the 8-3 Packers. And the 7th seed, the 7-5 Commanders. Now,
that's not terrible.
I think there's a lot of messiness going on in the NFC. Like the teams that we see right now could very well not make the playoffs. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say I think the Commanders miss it.
Don't hate it.
I also believe that the Falcons lose the division, and I think the Bucks win the division. The
thing
NFC
is,
South.
the Bucks are not that great either, and I get where
they're
you're coming
better.
from. But are they?
I like the Falcons schedule a little bit more. That was close for me. The other team I have missing, I think the 49ers can miss the playoffs.
Oh, they're missing it 100%.
Okay, I didn't hear you say that. I think the 49ers can miss it. I have Seattle win the division. I think their defense is actually turned around post-bye, trade for Ernest Jones.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it.
Don't
Let's
sleep
talk about
on
the
AZ,
Seahawks,
man.
baby.
Mike McDonald came over from Baltimore for a reason. It was to carry this defense, even though the talent might not be the best. Although they have some talent for sure, especially in the secondary with their
healthy.
corners.
AZ?
Getting healthy.
Dehls, have
Yes.
you looked at Seattle's last 5?
Games?
Yeah.
They've lost a bunch.
No, I'm saying.
Are their next 5
their
games?
next
Jets
5.
should be a
Win.
win.
Yeah.
Zona
Could be a win.
at Arizona.
Could be a win.
Toss up, yeah.
Both no, it's important for both teams. Both teams need it.
Well, yeah, they
Green
just
Bay,
beat them.
Minnesota, Chicago, Rams.
Not the easiest schedule in the world.
But I look. All of their schedules are similar. I looked at Arizona's schedule. I looked at the Rams. They
at
all have
Arizona's.
about the same difficulty of schedule. I believe in Seattle
Yeah.
the most out of all of them.
You
Arizona
believe in
plays
Seattle more than the Rams.
I do.
Arizona plays
I
Minnesota.
mean,
this year.
I love this
I have the Rams
because
making the playoffs. I have the Rams
All
as
right.
a wild card team still.
All right.
They get in over the Commanders for me and the 49ers. But I do think Seattle's defense has turned around.
I
It's gonna be
agree.
a good unit.
let's talk about this because the Seahawks defense has turned around. I feel like is the biggest thing that has fueled them to be number 1 in the NFC West right now. In the last 3 games, they faced Arizona, they faced the Rams, and they faced the 49ers. They have shut down all of those teams' rushing attacks. The Rams could not run the ball on them. The 49ers could not run the ball on them. Against the Arizona Cardinals, James Conner had a 0% success rate on his runs. The Seahawks have shut that down. And I think Ernest Jones, you mentioned it, he's been a big pickup for them, and he's been huge for them. Kobe Bryant moving from corner to safety has unlocked a different version of this defense.
Different animal, same beast type shit.
He just has natural instincts to play that position, and he's the one who had the pick 6 on Kyler, but that play was made by Devon Witherspoon, and Witherspoon is playing at a very high level, and that play that he made, the 4th and short, where he plays the run, then flips his hips and still chases down Kyler Murray, and Kyler panics and just throws it up, and it ends up
Such
being a
stupid
pick 6.
fucking play.
It was a terrible play from Kyler, but the Seahawks defense right now is coming around, and this is the unit that we all thought they would be with Mike McDonald. And every year you look at the Seahawks, they have always been one of the worst defenses in terms of DVOA. This year, they're a top 15 unit. That turnaround, I think, is the reason why it will fuel them into the playoffs. Offensively, that's where I have my biggest concerns because I think the offensive line still could be a liability, even with Abraham Lucas coming back. Charles Cross, as of recently, he's been getting beat more often. The Seahawks were able to do almost nothing against the Arizona Cardinals offensively.
Yep.
They just had one major play. It was the JSN screen that he took for like 50-plus yards. That was their biggest play, but they weren't able to do anything throughout that game, so I'm keeping my eye out on the offense. I think the thing about the NFC West right now is that there is no team you can trust. I think the 49ers are done. I think they're missing the playoffs. I don't know if they're schedule, they face the Lions and the
Schedule's
Bills
tough. Yeah,
moving
schedule's
forward.
super tough.
That's 2 teams that I think they're going to lose to.
I mean, all their schedules are tough.
Yeah, but and also you throw in the
Bills
Dolphins in there. That's
Bills.
a tough game. Not
Bills and
saying win or
Ravens.
lose either which way, but that's a game they definitely could lose. It's not this. You can't be confident with the Niners.
I'm not confident with none of these teams, but I think Arizona has a legit chance. Like I think
can hear this.
Like before that loss
defense
before that
is
loss against
sneaky.
Seattle, their like even in that game,
Yes.
Seattle couldn't run the ball.
Yep.
Like their defense was
Seattle can't run the ball, period.
Yeah,
That's
they
another
like
issue I have.
Arizona
with them.
was so locked in offensively. Obviously, they couldn't get it going. But before that, 4 straight wins. They were scoring 25 plus points each week. Kyler looked great. Like this team was like humming. And
They
I
won
think
4 in a row before the bye.
yeah, it was 4. It was literally 4 in a row. They beat the Chargers, which is a big win
Big
because
win,
we all
yeah.
think the Chargers are going to win.
Miami.
They spanked Miami. Not spanked. Sorry, they spanked
Came
the
back
Jets.
in clutch.
Beat
Yep.
Miami.
Yep, Jets.
Like so, I think this team they
And
got
Chicago.
Minnesota next week at Minnesota. So
They
when
spanked Chicago. That's what I think you meant.
Minnesota
Yes.
hasn't looked the greatest. You know, they've struggled in some games too, so that could be a dogfight. But, you know, I do think that's an L. But their next games after that, they got a rematch with Seattle. I think they'll be a little bit more prepared for that, even though this game was only 6-16.
They'll
It
probably
was a close
split.
game, yeah.
and it was raining, too.
They got New England, which I think should be
That's
a
a
win for
win.
Arizona.
Should be.
Carolina, which I think will be
win.
tough, but it should be a win. Then they got the Rams, and then they got San Fran. So you already beat the Rams, and then San Fran doesn't look the cleanest right now. I think this division is going to come down to those 2 or 3 weeks where we have San Fran sitting at 5-6. We have the Rams sitting at 5-6. Seattle's at 6-5. Like there's no. I get not trusting the Niners. Like, they haven't given you any reason to trust them this year. But at the same time, this division has been so up and down all year that it's probably going to come down to the last 2 or 3 weeks where all these teams play each other.
I just think the Niners are done. That's the one team that I'm ready to say I think it's over. If they just lose one more game, it's pretty much over.
What is it about them that you're done with?
I think you say the same thing about the Rams.
Is it? Let's say Brock Purdy plays this week, and he's healthy the rest of the season.
I don't think they're going to beat the Bills.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either.
Even if
So
he's healthy.
one loss, that's it. It takes them. I think this is
That's
such
7 losses on the season already.
But again, they're
lose
5
that.
and 6.
They have one. What's
Then
the
they
other
face
tough
the
opponent? The
Lions.
Lions, facts.
Lions is not
If they
going to be an
lose
easy
2
one.
The
games,
Rams
it's
play
pretty much
Buffalo
done.
too.
Also, they
It's not easy.
That's as easy.
also the Niners have the worst record in the division right now.
They play these
They've lost to the
teams 3 more
Seahawks.
times. Yep.
They've lost to the Cardinals. They've lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
All of them. I don't trust the Niners right now and what they got going on. I think a lot of it stems from the fact that their special teams is terrible. That's the number one thing.
Joel,
Yeah.
Seattle plays Green Bay and Minnesota.
Yeah.
If
That
I'm looking
schedule's
at
ass.
if I'm looking at Buffalo and thinking like the Niners aren't going to beat Buffalo, you low key can say the same thing about Seattle against Minnesota against Green Bay. Like, I'm looking at those 2 games like
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Like, I don't know.
I don't feel that way because
I
Minnesota.
think those are just as tough.
Minnesota's a good team. They're borderline a great team.
They're
I
right
say
there.
borderline
They're not because of Josh
Well,
Allen.
here's the thing.
obviously
I'm
separate.
not. I don't have this undying faith that the Seahawks are just going to
No,
get
I
in.
know.
I just have this undying faith that the 49ers are not.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fair.
it's over for them. And
I don't think
it's-
their team is bad though.
No, obviously it's not bad,
Oh, if
but
you don't make the
I
playoffs,
look.
you're bad to me.
They went from an offense last year that was historic, one of the best offenses ever. This year they're top 5, but when you drop off from historic to just 5th in the league, that is a major drop off. They can't run the ball. CMC, those snaps right now, he just has no explosiveness. He hasn't broken much tackles at all since he's come back. Like, the injury is affecting him, and it's expected, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. Then you look at Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy has elevated his game as a scrambler this year while taking a hit as a pocket passer this year. As a pocket passer, those margins for errors have become much more slimmer. Last year, Brock Purdy on throws at or behind the line of scrimmage averaged the first
he was,
down.
like, perfect,
It was 10
yeah.
yards per attempt.
Yep.
This year, those same easy plays are not there for him. You look at the game the week before against, I believe it was the Seahawks, where Deebo Samuel was on that dig, and he threw it high, inaccurate. I mean, those plays add up, and I don't think he's been his best in the red zone. I don't think Kyle Shanahan has been his best in the red zone either. They're one of the worst red zone scoring offenses in the NFL. They are not good situationally. And when you face the Bills, the best team arguably in the AFC, when you face the Lions, the best team arguably in the NFC, who just lost to you by 17, they blew a 17-point lead in the NFC Championship game. I have a lot of belief that the Lions are going to come into that game and just kick the Niners' ass.
Yep.
Like, I really do. So if they lose 2 more games and they have the Bills and Lions left, I think it's pretty much
I don't
over.
know if the Niners have it in them to get their ass beat. That's just not the type of team they've shown to be. Every single time they've lost
They
this
just
season.
lost to the Packers.
But,
Got their
it was-
ass beat.
Brendan
but
Allen.
that doesn't count.
They have Brandon
Yeah,
Allen out
Brandon
there. They're
Allen
going
out
to get
there.
40 piece by the
All
Lions.
games they
All right,
lost, they choked.
With Brock Purdy, let me preface that because, yeah, you could say this was an ass kicking. Josh Jacobs ran for over 103 touchdowns. He was stellar. Josh Jacobs in his own right. Shit, we can have a whole segment about him. He's been fantastic. But talking about the Niners and Brock Purdy, when they've lost while he's been on the field, it's been, like you mentioned, a choke job. Or even against Minnesota, they were still trying to come back in that game. They just fell short, and that was when Minnesota kind of were just throwing out the great blitz packages, really great job of disguising the blitz as well, made him really uncomfortable. That's the one I'll say outside of this game versus the Packers too, where they've just
got
been
dominated.
super. They I don't want to go unlucky because special teams is definitely something you can refine and be better at. But it's a very big hole right now that's cost them, unfortunately, some games, and now they're in a position where they can miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's week 12. I don't think that unit's getting better, but the Niners have a ton of holes. You mentioned it. CMC is not running the ball well. We were talking in the fantasy reaction. His longest rush this season is 13 yards. And 2 of the 3 games, he's been under 3 yards to carry, given one of those games with Brandon Allen. They can't stop the run on the other side. I think this defensive line has some serious holes. This special teams unit is the worst in the NFL. It's 32nd in EPA. And Brock Purdy, I get it, right? He's going to be back and be healthy. he's had a ton of shoulder injuries, right? Like he's had a ton of these like shoulder, elbow injuries dating back to, I think maybe even his time in college, but in the NFL, he's had a couple already. So just to assume he's going to come back in this and be healthy, like we weren't really expecting Brock to miss this game early last week, right? Like Wednesday he practiced, Thursday he started practicing, then pulled himself out. Friday he didn't practice, now he's not playing. So it's not like there was something that he got hurt in the previous game, he missed the fourth quarter, and all week we're like, yeah, he's probably going to miss it. It felt like the injury got worse over time. Again, he has a week to prepare, but you got Buffalo, you got Detroit. I think all of these teams in the NFC West, it's really who do you have the most confidence in? Because they're all going to have some tough opponents. They all have to face each other still. That's why I'm signing with Seattle. Because while Seattle definitely has their issues, because you mentioned Joel, the offensive line, and this run game, no matter how great Kenneth Walker is, he has no holes. There is very seldom any time that there is something that Kenneth Walker can hit and go get a 40, 50-yard gain. If anything's happening, he has to make it happen in the backfield, make 2 or 3 guys miss, and he is really good in the passing game, which is one area they can make some explosive plays. All these teams have holes. They all play some pretty good opponents. I'm just going with the team I trust most, and that's Seattle.
Also don't think that Brock Purdy, with all due respect, is enough of a difference maker to beat a well-oiled Bills and Lions team with how they're playing right now.
No.
There's too many flaws with the Niners right now that Brock Purdy can't make up for all of the stuff that's going on. And they're injured a lot too.
Of course, we definitely have been vocal about Brandon Aiyuk, and you're either on one side or the other. His presence is missed, and you feel that a lot within the pocket as well. You mentioned how he hasn't been that same pocket passer. Last season, the separation that Brandon Aiyuk would create, it was a lot of timing routes, and Brandon Aiyuk, for more often than not, was on the other side of that. Of course, you had the big explosive plays. That's really where we saw Brandon Aiyuk be his most dominant. He was the most efficient wide receiver last season. I believe, what did he have? Was it 69 catches or 89 catches, one of the two, but 1,300 yards. He was just so different. I think 69, I'm thinking of George Kittle, where he led the league in tight end yards, but he had way fewer receptions than a couple of guys. But regardless, I think that's where it is. We're not seeing this team be as explosive, and that also is in due part to, of course, CMC missing a good portion of it. But even with him being back, we've seen him struggle. I still find myself weirdly believing in them because it's still so close. But it's very dependent on Brock Purdy and whether or not he's going to play this upcoming week. That's kind of where my head's at. I understand where our minds are at with Seattle too, because their defense really has turned it around. But this past weekend, the bright spot for Seattle is supposed to be their defense, but it's also supposed to be the explosiveness of having DK Metcalf and JSN, who has now broken onto the scene as now their wide receiver 1 suddenly, where now he's top 8 in yards. He's been this dominant freak. You have all these great weapons, but because your offensive line's so terribly bad, Geno doesn't have time to sit there and let plays develop and push the ball down vertically consistently. And then you have outcomes like this where we only score 16 points if you're Seattle. But the defense letting 6 points up to Arizona, that's what can move me. It's tough. If I had to say right now where we stand, I still think that the Commanders are going to get in. I don't think that their team is as great as it started off to be. We're seeing these last couple of weeks, the offense definitely come back down to earth, especially against Philadelphia. But Philadelphia is one of the best defenses in the league. And against the Cowboys, did it have its best showing? No. Was it still big time? Absolutely 100% yes. They had that huge play to Terry McLaurin, and Terry McLaurin did a lot of the work after.
Cooper Rush.
Agreed, but they had 6 points with like 5 minutes left.
So just to get some clarification, the NFC West winner you think is the Cardinals.
I'm going
Me
Arizona.
and Dehls think the Seahawks, and you're
He
going
never really
with
picked one.
Arizona.
No, he picked the Rams.
I picked Seattle. Just now I picked Seattle, maybe a couple weeks ago. My biggest issue with Arizona right now is their offense could be pretty inconsistent.
Yes.
Kyler Murray can be pretty inconsistent week to week. They have been putting up some big point games, but when I'm watching Kyler, there's some games he is on, and like the Jets game, for example, he completes 90% of his passes. Again, he's not going to have those highs every single week, but he has some games where he looks lost. He looks like he is not a top 10 quarterback in the league, and I'm like, what's changing? You have the same players. Marvin's not out. Trey McBride's not out.
Just
James Conner's there.
I talk to him every day. His day-to-day mindset.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just some weeks where he does not look like the same quarterback, even though all is the same. And sometimes the run game, too. Like this game, they didn't do anything against the Jets. They could not run the ball. They have these games as well where they can't get anything going in the rushing game. Kyler looks not like Kyler Murray. The defense is really, I have more faith in the defense, which is something I would not have been saying when we were entering the season.
The one thing that I will say that's kind of I wouldn't say concerning because I feel like he still does have it in his bag, but Kyler Murray as a rusher this season, I feel as if we're seeing it a lot less, and I think that's one thing that
He had like 8 yards this past
I
week.
wouldn't say it's not concerning because he is Kyler Murray and we know that he is one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league.
He could do it still.
But it being so much less than what we've seen in years past, I get it. Smaller stature, you want him to be safe. He's been great as a pocket passer. He has moments of being really great as winning within the pocket. But what separates him from a lot of other quarterbacks is that playmaking ability. The fact we haven't seen it as much, I feel like it takes away a certain dynamic that Arizona's offense can bring that not many others can at that level, I should say. And then you add the fact that you have Marvin, you have Trey. James Conner's one of the best at breaking tackles.
Trey just had an OD game.
Trey, 12 catches on 15 targets, over 100. He's amazing. Still doesn't have a touchdown. It's insane. It's you look at how much this offense can do. I think that the fact that they're taking that away from him, it takes away a certain aspect that could really put pressure on opposing defenses. With that being said, I think I will take. I'm gonna take. You're making me make a decision right now, and I get it, and I understand.
I mean, what else are you gonna
It's
be
a
with
tough
that?
one though because it's so close, and I just feel like we still haven't seen the final form for the Niners because
We might never see it.
I say that where CMC, we're 3 weeks into him making his return, and yeah, he doesn't look at 100%.
I'm surprised you're this bought in on the Niners still. I think it's freaking over.
They're not a bad team.
CMC, it might be a moment where CMC won't get healthy until like next year. Like he'll take this year to ramp up.
But I don't know. And when you're a level of athlete like CMC is and what he's shown you to be, 3 weeks, I get it. It's concerning.
I mean, he
and
was on the shelf for like
9 weeks.
For
Like,
nine.
this is a
And that was-
team
that's
that
on
Nick
summer,
Bosa
too.
is hurt.
he is.
Javon Hargrave
He's
is
hurt, but it's an
not there.
oblique injury. Like, he's out, but he could very well play either next week or this upcoming week or the following.
Charvarius Ward has also been hurt.
That's brutal.
Like,
It's not hurt. He's in mourning of the loss of his daughter.
Oh, yeah. Prayers out
Which
to him.
of course, which makes sense why he's away from the game.
But he was on the sideline just recently.
Oh, but I think there is something that he missed time specifically because he did lose his daughter.
The Niners defense, they can't stop the run at all. Like it progressively,
Has gotten
every
worse.
quarter, their defense gets worse. Brandon Staley is one of the coaches that's coaching up that defense. That's all you need to know.
That team,
I think it's over
they've
for the
choked.
Niners.
They didn't choke maybe 3 of their second halves. Rams, Cardinals,
Seattle.
They're easily winning the division.
They'd be up there with us and the fucking Lions.
That's why it's again, they are so. The word I'm
Vibe
looking
scale
for,
is so down.
Oh,
It's low.
Like the vibe scale for
all-time
them is
low.
just
It's
so
like first
low.
half vibes are up. Shit lit. You probably in halftime. Yeah. Then they come out. It's
It's
like,
a classic Super Bowl hangover. That's what it is. And, that's why I don't believe in
they
a
didn't
team.
even win it.
And, Seahawks, I like their defense a lot.
if-
Cardinals, they have an easier schedule down the road. So, I mean, all those teams are in a better position record-wise than the Niners.
I can hear it, and I understand where we're coming from. I will say I won't count the Niners out to not make the playoffs. To win the division, still in the cards, but they do have a difficult schedule coming up. I do think that if the team is going to fall out, it will be the Commanders because their offense is definitely not the same as it was early in the season. But I will ride with. I don't know why my mind can't ride with Seattle. It's really because of the offensive line. That's really what it comes down
going
to.
with the
They,
man.
they all have flaws.
Why don't you come ride with us?
I'm not against it. The offense is just so inconsistent.
Fuck it.
They also, the Arizona needs, because they need Kyler to run because they're not really an explosive offense. Marvin Harrison's not someone that's beating you 60 yards for a touchdown. Trey McBride,
Unfortunately
the
not.
same thing. James Conner, the same thing. They're 3 main weapons on offense. They could gash you. They could pick up 15, 20 yards, but you're not winning over the top. So when Kyler has those plays where he runs out of the pocket, rushes for 40 yards, and he's celebrating at the 30-yard line, that's a part of the offense they don't really have anywhere else.
I'll say
agree.
this. My thoughts have been all over the place. It's as simple as this. Choosing a division winner right now is a guessing game because there's so many holes for each. Well, there's not so many. There's a specific hole that every team in this division has that you can convince yourself, oh, this is going to be their downfall. Oh, this is going to be the reason why they're going to go out there and win because Seattle's offensive line is terribly bad. And as explosive as the offense can be, if Gino had time, he does not have the offensive line to protect him. And then by that transitive property, now Kenneth Walker is also suffering. When you look at Arizona, the inconsistencies that they have on offense, and also sometimes the lapses in their defense, but you don't know what version of Kyler Murray you're going to get on a week-to-week basis. The Niners, their special teams is horrendous. Brock Purdy is injured. CMC is not the same. And then you look at the Rams. That's one of those teams where their offensive line's also not that great, but their defense has moments where it's also, the rush defense just showed this week that it can go and get gashed. It's going up against the Eagles, to be fair, and Saquon is at a different level, but also the health of the Rams, the consistencies in the run game. There's just right now, you look at each team and with how close they are in record, to me, it feels like I'm guessing, even though there's still so many numbers.
What's your best guess?
If I had to guess,
Probably Seattle. They have the least weaknesses. I'm just going with the vibes here, man.
but not having an offensive line is a huge weakness.
I will say this: since Abraham Lucas has come back, the offensive line has been better. There were moments in this Cardinals game where Geno Smith had a lot of time in the pocket.
And then against the Niners, it took a last-second heroic effort from them to go out there and win that game.
Broadway Geno, man.
And I'll give him his respect. Geno is like that. I will never slander Geno Smith's name.
He hit that throw to DK Metcalf. Phew.
No,
that
that play
down.
on
His
third
first
and
name is
8.
Eugene?
Well, I'm guessing, yeah, it's Geno.
Oh, fuck.
Is it? I have no idea.
I don't know
I hope
either.
it's just Gino.
Let me see.
But that play on 3rd and 8 won them the game.
Eugene's
It legitimately did. It was a huge fucking play. It was great.
A nut-ass first name, man. Eugene.
If I
It is Eugene Cyril Smith III.
Eugene
What a name.
Cyrus.
If I'm gonna
What a
ride with a
name.
team, I am gonna choose the Cardinals.
king.
Their defense really has been
Sounds
playing
like a
well
commander,
recently,
like the
and I
American
think that
Revolution.
offensively, although we do see inconsistencies in it, I think they do have the most trustworthy of the group outside of the Rams because they have Puka.
I
They have
saw.
Kupp and Kyron.
I think it was
And
either
Staffy, of
it was either Terrell or the twin. I forgot his name. God damn it. But one of them was like,
From the Mallory Bros.
yes, it was one of them. I forgot which one.
Terrell and Terrence?
Yeah, it was. I think it was Terrell. And he tweeted, he was like, people were saying how my commanders were going.
That's Terrence. Terrence is the commander
People
fan.
were saying how like my commanders had our 3 biggest tests coming up, and it was Eagles, Steelers, and Dallas at
failed
the
all of
time.
them?
And we failed every single one.
How was one a Commander fan and one a Bronco fan?
I probably should ask them. I think they're from Washington, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're from Baltimore.
I
don't
don't
remember.
know why Terrell is a Broncos
I don't
fan.
know
I
either.
think they're from the DMV area.
Yeah, they are from that area for sure, though. So I don't know though, but I saw that and I started crying.
I'm glad we talked about the NFC West because I think they deserve that type of a spotlight. NFC East, we know the Eagles are going to win the division. They're one of the best
Frauds
teams in the
have
NFL.
been exposed.
The Commanders, I think there's a serious shot they miss the playoffs.
I can hear it.
The Commanders,
What was our Eagles bet?
what was it?
Was it 10.5 wins?
What was the Eagles
We had a
bet?
bet
Oh
with the
my
Eagles.
God! Oh my
We had a
God!
bet, right?
Santos definitely hit him. He had to have.
No, he didn't.
That's
he
the
didn't.
shit
We
only
definitely
Santos
had
would
to-
Joel.
remember.
No! Now I see what
Was
you've
that a
been doing.
three-way?
No!
Well,
Drew.
what is this
Dehls.
epiphany you just
He's
had?
been probably Eagles for weeks. Best defense in the league. I see him doing
I
it.
was trying to make you forget about the bet.
Wow! Now I see why you've been doing it. You bet on us to win under 10 games.
Now, I wish this was a mastermind plan, but I forgot all about the bet.
Oh, good, because I think you did bet. I think under 10 and a half.
yeah,
I think the
pretty
line
sure.
was 10 and a half.
No,
We're
there's
about
still-
to clear
there's
the
still
shit
time.
out of that number.
Because I think I tried to say just the division. You're like, nah, 10.5. It's like, all right.
Well, I will say this.
was a moment,
We
man.
got the McLaurin and DJ Moore bet,
Let's cancel.
and we have the 49ers NFC Championship bet.
We also don't sleep. We have Pittsburgh and
The Chargers won, yeah. We got a couple.
I hear where your guys are coming from. Do you believe the Commanders are going to miss out too?
I have them missing.
Listen,
in
they
my
just lost to the
bracket.
Cowboys.
I get it. This
Cooper
rest of the season schedule is still very light.
They just
yeah,
lost to
but
Dallas.
but it's a division game still, and they lost.
That doesn't matter.
I
to
get
me.
it, but
He
they almost
scored
tied the
21 in like
game.
4
That
minutes.
doesn't matter
What's their
to me.
schedule?
They're all right. Thank you for asking. They have the Titans.
They could lose.
I can hear that. I can hear it. I honestly can hear
If they
it.
could lose to the Titans, they could lose to everybody else on the schedule.
No,
unless they have
no,
the Jaguars.
I don't think. I think they beat the Saints.
The Saints could beat them. When Derek Carr's been back, he's been playing well.
I hate that you're kind of right. They've looked decent the last couple of
Did they
weeks.
just
No,
beat
if the
Atlanta?
Saints face the Commanders this weekend, I'll pick the Saints.
It's in
to
New
beat them.
Orleans.
Why did you guys just convince me that they're cooked?
Is it in New
No, the
Orleans?
Commanders
in
are
New
done.
Orleans.
They're going to collapse and they're missing the playoffs.
I don't want that though. I really like them as a
Fuck you,
team.
Commander
I don't think
fans.
their defense is that bad either. I get that Cooper Rush just did
Brother.
whatever. Bro, the
They had
difference
4 pressures against the Cowboys.
the
Brother.
difference in the game legitimately was
You're
the
trying.
Turpin touchdown.
You're trying to be nice.
The
Turpin got
that
that
play
he
was
dropped the
amazing.
ball, jogged,
Don't-
and just spin.
There's
and it was
no
just
way
like,
you can hate on.
Bro, if I'm a coach and I see the opposing team get the ball. He drops that shit. I swear to God, if he scores, bro, everybody's running for a
Deshaun
week.
Jackson.
I was about to say the same thing.
That's the greatest player ever.
That is
but I
true.
bet you in practice that next day, the Giants were like, "What the
Did you
fuck is
see
wrong with you
Turpin's
guys?"
top speed? It was
I
the
agree.
fastest in the league.
He's one of the best returners in the league.
He
to be
dropped the
fair.
ball.
I think the ending to the Cowboys and Commanders game
Sometimes
made
it
us
screws you up, man.
Embarrassed.
turn a blind eye to how terrible the Commanders looked in this one.
They were terrible.
I think there's a lot of things going on. I know the major talking point is going to be Cliff Kingsbury, the second half offense.
hilarious.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
They
And I
had
think
9
Cliff
points
Kingsbury,
entering the fourth quarter.
a lot of his second half
defense.
offenses that haven't played well. Collar's been hurt. The 1 year Collar was healthy, they actually scored more points in the second half than in the first half of the season. I don't think it's Cliff's play calling because when I was watching the film back, there were plays to be had. The issue with them is the offensive line right now. The offensive line is not playing as well as it did before, and it's in large part due to the fact that they didn't play any good defensive lines. They have just started playing great defensive lines recently with the Steelers, with the Eagles, and now the Cowboys with Micah Parsons back. They're an awesome defensive line. Osa Odigizua had 6 pressures
Did they
against
play
Commanders.
bad against the Steelers?
They
Second
offensively
half.
they couldn't really do anything.
They didn't.
no.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers definitely gifted them a couple of field
It was.
position.
I was going to say the punt that they shouldn't have gone for in that territory definitely gave them that touchdown. But 27 points against the Steelers is still impressive.
And this is the thing with the Commanders' offense that I see is just regressing. Their run game has regressed drastically.
Don't
Brian
disagree.
Robinson can't
It's
stay healthy.
not even on a down-to-down basis. It's more so the explosive runs. They had multiple explosive runs go for 20-plus yards earlier in the year.
B-Rob, man.
Now, it's only been one in the past couple of weeks. They haven't had any explosive plays to the ground. Jaden Daniels at one point was averaging 33 yards a game on screen passes alone. Now it's down to like 11 per game. So the defenses have been taking those easy stuff away. And then the offensive line, like Jaden Daniels, there was concepts to be had, but he didn't have time to get to those reads at all because the offensive line plays so bad. I like what the Cowboys did because against the Steelers, the Commanders were chipping TJ Watt and just like whether it's a running back or tight end or whatever, they always doubled him. The Cowboys moved Micah Parsons inside, and he was playing defensive tackle against the Commanders, and he had multiple pressures like that. Like he was ragdolling these defenders. Yeah, he was a game changer.
Yeah,
he
hell yeah.
wrecked this
It's
game.
Micah.
So did Odigizua. He was really good. I like saying his name a lot.
I like
But
hearing it.
the Commanders, they right now.
That's a very
Odigizua.
original name.
Odigizua.
Why do you like saying it so
Ah,
much?
this is a cool name.
I mean, say it.
Nah,
Go ahead, because you can't.
possible.
Yabusele. Yeah. No, but the Commanders, they
make him
can't.
say Fox.
No explosive runs. The pass game, a lot of the easy stuff is getting taken away. And this wasn't an explosive pass offense to begin with. The Cowboys also played man coverage a lot. And right now what's getting exposed is that the Commanders, they don't have good receivers outside of Terry McLaurin. Teams double team McLaurin. They bracket him. If you're gonna beat us with Noah Brown and
Should never
Diamond
trade
Brown,
Jahan Dotson.
it's whatever.
I
They
don't
don't care.
hate Luke McCaffrey. He still separates. They just got to get him the rock.
So when I look at the Commanders' upcoming
Ben Simmons on
schedule,
the field.
when you face the Titans defense, who their defense has been really good, when you face the Saints, who they have some really good corners and they can play man to man, there's just some bad matchups for them moving forward. And the offense now, it was already compressed and it was just they dinked and dunked away down the field. Now it feels even more constrained. So I just don't like the Commanders moving forward.
Also,
I think they're going to be out the playoffs.
When the fuck is Lattimore going to play for them?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, that'd be lit at any point that their big trade, like one of the biggest moves
hasn't
of the
played
trade
yet.
deadline, if he would play. That would
I don't
be
even
cool.
think that fixes anything because the defensive line only had 4 pressures
I
against
just
the
want to
Cowboys.
see him on the field for
The
real.
Cowboys' offensive line has not been able to protect the entire season. The Commanders right now, we're just seeing a regression from their defense and their offense. But I do think that right now their defense has been stronger than their offense, and that's just a testament to how bad this.
So who's going to kick them out? Because they are 7-5, or 7-5, if I'm not mistaken. On their heels is you have the Niners in that
Bucks,
realm.
kind of.
The Bucks, kind of.
I have the Rams, over them.
The Rams are kind of on their
I was
heels.
going to say Rams have
They're 5-6.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get 2 teams in the NFC West. I wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't hate that, honestly.
Do I have 2 or do I?
Cardinals are 6-5. Okay, fair
They're on
enough.
their heels.
It's really the 7th seed because the Vikings and Packers are basically locked for the 5 and 6. So
The
it's
top
really
4
comes
is
down
there,
to
man.
Rams.
The
and-
Commanders' schedule. You guys didn't let me finish because we stopped at the Titans. But it is Titans, Saints, Eagles, loss. I'm guaranteeing a loss. The Falcons and the Cowboys.
They can lose every game.
Every game is
Yes.
crazy.
They could
They
lose.
cannot
I don't
lose
think
to
they're gonna
Dallas
lose
again.
out.
They probably don't. No, I don't think they're going to lose out. But
That's
I'm just
7 and
saying,
10 to
all
finish
of
the
those
year.
games, like right now as we stand, outside of maybe Week 18 versus the Cowboys, but they just lost to the Cowboys. I think all of those games are coin flips.
It's considerably easier though
Jaden
than
Daniels
those teams.
fool's
in
goal.
I think they go
NFC
2 and
wise.
3. I'll go 2 and 3.
They go 2 and 3. They have a decent chance of making
Yeah.
it because the
That'd be
Rams will have
such
to
a-
go 4 and 2
That's such a terrible way to go with the way you started. Like you started off 7-2.
They were ahead of schedule,
for sure.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of close
I
victories.
feel like even if you are ahead of schedule, when you hit 7-2, you kind of change your expectations or you adjust.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
For
they
it.
traded for Marshawn Lattimore, but you think about it, the Commanders barely beat the Giants. The Giants lost because they didn't have a field goal kicker. They barely beat the Bengals on prime time. It took like a late
Don't do that.
heroic thing. I'm just saying, their wins have been close.
Don't do
Their
that.
wins have been close. That's all I'm saying.
It was an amazing win.
I know it's an amazing win. It's
was
also
one of the best wins
It's
of the
also
year.
a very close game. That's what I'm saying. It could have went
Are you
either
saying
way.
it's Mickey?
Every
not
loss of the
Mickey Mouse.
Bengals has been close.
Yeah,
They haven't
every
beat a
win,
good
too.
team yet.
that's why they could easily be 7-4, but
They
they're
haven't
4
beat
and
a
7.
good team yet.
What's the best
Cincinnati
team have they
beat a
beat?
good team challenge. They
Have
have
they?
not beat. No. Who? The only thing with Bengals fans and people who believe in Bengals ride on the fact that they lost a goodie to the Ravens and they play the Chiefs tough. Outside of those
my
two
God.
games, it's nothing else. What is it? Tell me. What? They beat the Panthers? That's Joe Burrow's playing like an MVP. who's
Honestly,
losing?
I'm really trying to think who
no,
they
like,
beat.
like that ass.
Well, the three of the 4 wins were the Panthers, Browns, and Raiders. So the
Who was
other
the
one,
other one?
I'm forgetting right now who it was.
I don't know. They didn't beat the Chargers. They didn't beat the Ravens. They damn sure didn't beat the Eagles. Who have they beaten?
I can't remember who the other one is.
They didn't beat the Steelers. Did they even play the Steelers? They didn't play the Steelers yet.
No, they haven't played them yet.
Who'd they
They
beat?
play them
The
next week.
Giants.
Oh.
Step back 3.
So
Giants.
beat a good team challenge. They don't
Low-key,
do it,
that
man.
was kind of a dogfight.
17-7.
Yeah, it was ugly.
The Bengals defense back. They held the Giants to 7 points.
Seen Bengals fans calling brother MVP, man. That shit nasty. That shit is.
Well, he is playing at
he
that
is,
level.
He
You
is.
can listen.
4 and 7's not MVP.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only quarterback with these numbers this far in the season that has a negative record
should tell you something.
in history.
Be
Yeah,
better.
the roster
Have better
sucks.
numbers.
Listen, I'm not gonna say be better, but MVP, most valuable player.
They told Herbert to be better.
They did,
we did.
and he did it.
Nah, I didn't. Herbert's always been luscious to me.
Hey, Jesse Minter, next Jets head coach.
Hey, it's possible.
Nah, I actually would kill to like 3 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
3. I think he's at 4 now. No, he doesn't like
No,
Lamar.
he loves Josh.
He loves
He
Josh.
loves Josh.
Loves
You're
Josh.
right.
Love Josh.
He doesn't love
Oh
Josh.
shit, he's at 4.
He literally at
He
4.
loves Josh.
I actually went
loves
to
Mahomes.
I went to a thrift store with Jessica in Arizona, and I don't know why, but for some reason there was a Josh Allen Bill shirt there.
He's everywhere, man.
I told her, get that shit. Get that shit. Told her, get it. She got it. It's upstairs, you know. That's why she's
Just
a
doesn't
somewhat
like
of a
Lamar,
Ghost
man.
fan.
You hate it had to be Lamar. He just doesn't like Lamar.
He likes the half and half.
He's not half it. He's like
I mean, do you drink your coffee straight black?
Black, baby.
Okay. You
do-
need to put some sugar in it, right?
no. Actually, when I go to that was racist.
Right.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's
Coffee?
fact. You literally you
Sugar,
He
brother.
understands. You mean like in your hot chocolate? Do you eat it? Do you
I thought you
drink-
meant coffee because I
No.
do a straight shot.
You do straight what,
Really?
espresso?
I go to
Espresso shot?
espresso. I go to work every morning.
You believe this?
Is that hit?
Would I ever tell you a lie about
You're
that?
cooking,
I go to work every morning. My shout out to Mr. Fiore, gym teacher. Sees me come in, Rev, step into my office. You go to the office, espresso shot, knock it down.
You like it?
No,
I didn't think
Does
so.
it wake
tastes
you
like
up?
shit. Yes,
Yes.
I'll be locked in.
Nah, the special shots be having
Tastes
never
like
had
dog
it.
shit though, but it's I kind of look at it like a shot of tequila.
Horrible.
So hate it, but do it.
Gets the job done.
Gets the job done.
got you.
So I lock in, man. It's
like hitting the
respect me.
Yeah. I mean, I could see the Commanders
case.
not getting into playoffs. The best division in the NFL is the NFC North right now. The fact that the Packers are 8-3 and they're the 6th seed, the Vikings are 9-2 and they're the 5th seed. I mean, it just goes to show just how great this division has been. I think with all the talk around the Lions and Eagles, deservedly so, because they've been awesome. The Vikings and Packers are right there with them. And the Vikings, they only lost by 2 points to the Lions. And they were a Sam Darnold third down conversion, overthrowing Justin Jefferson away from winning that game. I mean, they could play spoiler alert in this conference, but we know they're all going to make the playoffs.
I hear it. I look at the Vikings and they've just had some weird moments.
Vikings moments.
that I just find myself not being fully bought in. I respect and love the story. Sam Darnold's getting another opportunity at being a starter. He's 9-2. This team's loaded with talent defensively. Oh, they're throwing all these blitz schemes. They blitz at the second highest rate in the National Football League. One of the best rush defenses. But then you have moments like you have in the second half in the fourth quarter versus the Chicago Bears. And Chicago Bears, who just figured out how to play offense last week versus the Packers, they go up against you. And Caleb Williams, in my opinion, has his best game as a pro. And they go and by a miraculous miracle of God, they tie the game up, send it into overtime because you botch an onside kick, and you're able to go ahead and send the game into overtime. And then the Bears do Bears things and take a terrible sack.
Yeah,
and
Caleb played bad.
That hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad. But then you have that moment where you go and you blow that lead, and then now it's a close game, but you end up winning it, of course. And of course, that's all that matters. Winning is winning, end of the day. But then you have the game versus the Jags where Mac Jones is starting and you only win 12-7. You played pretty well against the Titans. I'll give them that respect. But there's just been moments recently that I just don't love from the Vikings. That Jets game also comes to mind. I don't think that Sam played that great of football. But last 2 weeks, I give him his credit. I think he's played pretty decent football.
I mean, Sam's up and down. The reason you don't trust the Vikings is Sam Darnold. It's as simple as that.
I also think their pass defense isn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, they cannot generate consistent pressure with their four-man rush. Sam Darnold leads the NFL in turnover-worthy plays, according to PFF. Nobody comes close to him. Like, he is leading it.
Gets a lot of big turnover.
Yeah, he is, and that's the thing. That's the good and the bad you take with Sam Darnold.
This is just Jameis Winston.
I just believe in
Love that, actually.
One game playoff scenario. Kevin O'Connell dialing up a game plan. Brian Flores dialing up a game plan. I think they got major upset potential. And Darnold, I think every week, KOC has done a good job at restoring his confidence. After the Jaguars game, that was a disaster. We were talking about Darnold in a negative light. KOC still stuck by him. KOC still showed him a lot of support.
What else was his option, though, bud?
And no, he doesn't have an option, but I think that positive reinforcement, I mean, last two games, he balled out against the Titans and then against the Bears. In overtime, they didn't run the ball, not once, until they were in field goal range. They said, we're going to lose or win this game with you, Sam. And there were moments where there was a penalty call that put them behind the chains, and Darnold made incredible throws to put them in that position to win.
Can we also argue that that's a bad decision? Aaron Jones was eating.
Yeah, no, but Darnold, I feel like when Darnold when he got hurt, they had Nick Mullins come in and convert this third down. That was pretty awesome. It was a great play call. But then when Darnold came back, he was making some high-level throws, and he put them, and I would say he won that game for the Vikings. Like, he played that well down the stretch. So I think there is something to the Vikings and the Packers. I just think the Packers need to figure out the pass rush. That's all there is to it. 9 of their 10 games this year have been against defenses that are top 15 in DVOA. They face nothing but good defenses. Their offense, we know, is still really good, and their rushing attack is one of the better ones in the league.
Jordan Love needs to chill with the turnovers in the red zone, though.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that is worrying about the Packers right now. And then their defense, like, how good is it? Is it turnover reliant, or are they good on a down-to-down basis? That's the major thing with the Packers and their pass rush, because Rashawn Gary has been a no-show, but as recently, he's playing really well. So those two teams can play spoiler, and that's all I'm saying. I don't think they win the NFC North. The Vikings have a realistic chance,
We're good.
The Vikings do have a realistic chance, because when you
Packers,
look at the
Eagles, round one, food?
Yeah, but we have the East on lock.
When you look at the Lions, they play the Bears Thanksgiving, then they play the Packers, then they play the Bills at Bears. Oh, no, sorry, at Bears. What the hell? Well, the Lions, they haven't played the Bears yet, have they?
I don't believe so.
They faced the Bears twice, the Packers, Bills, Niners, and Vikings. That's the Lions.
The Lions is fire.
The Vikings play the Cardinals, Falcons, Bears, Seahawks, Packers, Lions.
That's a little easier.
I think there's a game or two.
The Lions can dominate everybody. The Lions can just do it to everybody. I do think, though, the Vikings and the Packers are both going to win a playoff game, because most likely they end with the 5 or the 6 seed. They'll play the 3 and the 4 seed, so you're playing the winner of the NFC South and the NFC West. I think they're better than whatever team, especially the South and the West. As much as I think Seattle has some potential, I don't think they're better than either of those teams.
Texans defense that great enough to get 5 turnovers on Detroit?
I think Jared Goff made some really stupid decisions.
It's solid.
I
I
don't
mean, there was a
know.
couple like tips and shit, but I mean, he had a couple plays like he just like threw it fucking 50 yards down the field for Jameson.
I just
like,
feel
double
like there's
coverage and shit,
always going to be a part of me that can't fully invest myself into Jared Goff. Like, I fuck with the Lions a lot. There's so much to like about them. But Jared Goff, he's an interesting guy.
I mean, he has games where he's fucking 158.3 passer rate and 5
Yes,
touchdowns.
you're
And
right.
it's perfect, and he has games where he looks like dog shit.
Like, I see the comments, and all of them are calling us haters, calling us doubters. I love Detroit. They're an awesome story. They are a near perfect team. The issue is when we talk about the high-end teams, let's talk about the 4 best teams in the league right now. You have, I guess we'll go Chiefs, we'll go Eagles, let's throw the Lions, of course, and let's say Bills, correct? Jared Goff's the worst quarterback of the bunch?
I think the good part is the only team in the NFC is the Eagles, right? Like the Bills, the Chiefs,
Agreed.
the Ravens, they're probably next in that mix. Like all of those elite quarterbacks on the other side.
But in the same breath, though, Packers versus Lions,
That's fair.
that's a tough matchup.
Absolutely.
And any in-division game for them in the playoffs is going to be a tough matchup. I think that the bottom, the wild card spot, I know we look at that 3 and that 4, they're 6 and 5, and they're pretty mediocre in the big picture. But that first seed, you're going to go up against a 6 or a 7 or a 5 or a 6, and that could end up being Minnesota, and that could end up being Green Bay. And it's a tough matchup. And then that following week, if you make it to the NFC Championship, let's say the Eagles make it, that's a dogfight. It's not this like 100% signed and sealed thing that Detroit's going to walk in there. They are the best team in the NFC, or arguably the best team in the NFC, but the NFC is still talented.
Painting a scenario, if I'm assuming 1, 2, 3, 4 get a home game, right?
Yes.
For sure. So say, for example, Seattle gets it, right? Their defense gets extremely healthy, and Detroit has to walk into Seattle.
Detroit would be home.
Well,
though,
Detroit would be home, yeah.
because they're the
I'm
higher
saying, like,
seed.
if they don't get, like, say, for example, Green Bay
Oh, if
or
they don't win the
Minnesota,
division.
they grab that division.
Yeah, I think they're gonna win the division.
I was going to say, I'm pretty.
No, I'm just saying, hypothetically,
Yeah,
they don't,
yeah.
right? Detroit has to walk into Seattle in a tough environment,
scary.
playoff game for Jared Goff.
That's scary.
I hear where you're coming from.
You don't got to tell me about Jared Goff outdoors, brother.
But
Yeah,
that,
I'm just asking,
but that also goes in that world. That means something has gone wrong with the Lions. They've fallen off a little bit.
I don't know, because if the Green Bay Minnesota's sitting at what?
9-2, Lions are 10-1.
Lions are 10-1. If Minnesota beats them the next time they play,
Really,
That's right.
the
That's
NFC
right.
North could come down to
Buffalo or
week
something.
18.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's a great
They got the
point.
same
That's a
record.
great point.
Yeah.
Detroit's floor is just so high with that run
No,
game.
for sure.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that Jared Goff could be having a terrible game halfway
Yep.
through the second quarter. Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, like, listen, man, David Montgomery and Gibbs are going to carry us the rest of the way. And then they could run the ball 70% of the time, but then run play action, hit a couple shots to Moran, Jameson, Williams, and they could put up 30
respect
points.
it.
Listen, I think there's
See JMO, his separation this year.
Elite? Yeah, I mean, he's one of the fucking fastest in the league.
some Lions fatigue going on, and it's crazy because they've been a laughingstock for a long time, but now they're an elite football team. According to DVOA, this is like one of the best teams through 12 weeks in NFL history.
They're incredible.
They're number 1 in DVOA. Second place is the Ravens, I believe, and they're like 11% below them right now. So what the Lions are doing is pretty incredible, and I know that there's some doubt with Jared Goff, but there's also an argument to be made that he's one of the best pocket passers in the league. And if you give him time in the pocket,
If he can't do that, he can't do anything else.
yeah, I know, but he does
And
it
I'm-
at a very high
Does
level.
that sound rude? Like, am I being rude?
Okay, it's
No.
No, Jared Goff can't do
He
anything
can't do
outside throwing
anything
the
else.
pocket.
So you need to be one of the best pocket
yeah,
passers.
but I mean, that's what he
and
is.
he is.
That's
I
what
agree.
He is.
I agree.
Like if a game between the Lions and Eagles were to happen and it's a game within the pocket, are you trusting Hurts to beat Goff in a game within the pocket?
But I don't
Hurts
think.
can make things
Yeah,
happen out of the pocket.
exactly. Hurts is a natural playmaker as opposed to Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, I think he's a fine quarterback.
I agree.
I don't think he's one of the upper echelon guys. I think he's really good. I think the Lions, if anything, it'll be a combination of Goff being rattled under pressure a little bit, but more so their secondary still concerns me. I know that their defensive metrics are off the charts, but with Carlton Davis, Teron Arnold on the opposite side, a rookie corner who's physical, gets a lot of penalties, and then if it's not him, it's Vindor. That secondary to me is just a bit concerning.
I agree.
But I do think that the addition of Zadarius Smith has really added a lot to that pass rush and has really made up for the loss of Aiden Hutchinson to a lesser degree. But the Lions, I think, week 18 is going to come down to it. NFC North winner, Lions versus Vikings. They're going to match up, go head to head, and I think that's going to decide things. But yeah, these are you can argue one of the best teams in the league, just all in the NFC North, the Packers, Vikings, and Lions. That's how good this division is. I really want to talk about the Bucks. Well, not the Bucks, the Falcons and the Bucks.
They suck.
Because I think the Falcons are not a good team. I don't. Think
Neither are the Bucks.
We really
I think
a
they're
drop
much
away
better.
from being
How?
number one.
they have a better defense.
By let's say,
Fourth
like
defense is
a
pretty bad.
centimeter, an inch.
No, I think it's it's probably a couple feet. Yeah.
Couple feet ain't too bad.
No, I think like
three-point
Bucks are
line
still
to
Still a
what?
bad defense.
like the Bucks. They have better corners. They have better safety play.
Whoa, do they?
Antoine Winfield.
Jesse Bates.
I mean, that's pretty even to me.
but then Justin Simmons.
Winfield
Justin
just
Simmons has
got
been
hurt,
one of the
didn't he?
worst safeties in the league this year.
Okay, but at the same time, it's has he been one of the worst?
Yes,
We're
he's been
complaining ass to
terrible.
ass.
I'm at genuinely.
Yes.
Wow.
No, he's been terrible. You have Zion McCullum with Jamel Dean. Then you still have Levante David. The defensive line for the Bucks clears with Vita Vea.
I can hear this, of course, because the pass rush for Falcons is dog shit.
There's nothing there, and I look at the Falcons' remaining schedule. So they're 6-5. The Bucks are 5-6. The Falcons play the Chargers. Good defense, and I mean, anybody that plays the Falcons genuinely will torch them. That's how bad the defense is. They play the Chargers. They play the Vikings. They play the Raiders and Giants. I think those two could be
2-2.
wins. And then they play the Commanders and then the Panthers.
3-3.
Down the stretch, it's a very easy schedule. But the Buccaneers down the stretch, they only have one game that's really that tough. They play the Panthers, Raiders, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints.
Seems
The
like
Bucks
4-2.
could, the Bucks could very well run it up and maybe lose to the Chargers.
Bucks
and
also
probably
lost
still get in.
both of the games to the Falcons. They let up 30 points in both of those games.
Yeah, they don't have the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Baltimore let up 42, but it's Baltimore. Let up 30, Kansas City. Let up 23, not bad, to the Niners. They shut up to the Giants, but it's the Giants. I mean, I don't know. This defense, whenever they played good competition, really didn't do anything.
And Kirk Cousins also has been very average. Like Kirk Cousins, like the numbers look good and stuff, but I mean,
Baker's been playing better than him for sure.
the same criticisms that you have for Jared Goff, it's like to a much
Yeah.
higher degree with Kirk Cousins. Like
Definitely.
he genuinely cannot move
And
at
Tampa
all.
can run the ball now. Bucky Irving can run the ball. They're in a
I
sufficient
definitely
run
trust
game. when he's
Baker
out
when
Yo,
he's
there.
doing
I
it.
had a question. Bucky Irving or Kyron Williams, who's better?
Oh shit.
I'm still going Kyron.
All things equal. Offensive line equal, wide receivers
still taking
equal,
Kyron.
quarterback, play
God.
calling.
He's
Kyron's a
getting
better
nasty.
receiving back.
You agree with this?
Getting nasty.
It's close.
No, I can hear it. Bucky's really
close.
good. I'm not even mad at this. Bucky's really good.
I think Bucky is good.
But at the same time, Kyron has now become efficient and now forgets how to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, the
Your big
fumblings.
criticism on him was that he's been inefficient. The last 5-ish weeks, he's really become an efficient back. That also goes hand in hand with Puka being back on the field, which makes a lot of sense. But then he can't hold on to the ball now. That's really what's been bothering me more so than anything else. But
Bucky's a dog, man.
he is
Might be Bucky.
mad good.
Bucky.
He
It
fell
is
off, and that's okay.
It is Bucky.
I mean, we were doing the numbers on Fantasy Reaction. He's top of the league in missed
Incredible.
tackles for, yards
Yes.
after contact,
So
10
good.
plus yard rushes. I mean,
Tampa's
yards per route run for
They're
running backs.
They're
is
like a
top
nice,
5.
fun. They fill the vibe checks, man.
Tampa Bay, absolutely.
They fill out all the
A
vibe
lot
checks.
of that is for one reason.
Of course, Baker.
Baker is so cool.
He's cool.
And I really, for myself, hate that I hated on him because he was bad. I was being honest.
He also wasn't cool before.
You're cooking. He really wasn't
was like a
this.
jerk.
It was really him going to Tampa Bay,
Changed his whole vibe.
having a bit of a humbling experience and
Yep.
and coming back and bouncing back
Changed
the way
his
that he
whole
has.
mantra.
I
Now
agree
he's
with
like,
that.
He's one of them dudes.
Sometimes you need to fall to get back up. And
Sometimes you need a failing moment in your life. You need to hit the ground hard as hell and realize nobody else gonna help me get up.
That's a
I gotta
fact.
get up on my own. I gotta be humble about it.
Sounds like something you put on your Instagram story.
Also, Justin
low-key,
Simmons,
you know what I'm
according to PFF, he's been terrible. He has a 59 grade this year.
Where do you rank on safety?
I just saw because Brandon Jones, the safety that we replaced him with, is in the 80s. He's been sensational this season.
I like Justin Simmons too. I
you
hate
guys
that
made
for
the right decision.
The thing is,
I mean,
Justin's a legend.
There's a reason Justin was a free agent until like fucking August, you know?
He's not a legend in the game. He's a Broncos legend. He meant
one of the
a lot
best
to
safeties
us.
in football for years.
He literally was one of the best
Maybe
safeties
he's still
last
nice
year.
if he stayed with them. Honestly, their defense
It's a
just ain't gonna be.
possibility. I have, before we go on, two things. We do have to just recap and who we think is going to make it in the NFC and make it out. But this Bucky Irving topic came up. So I cooked up a quick would you rather.
Bucky Irving. Okay.
Would you rather a Bucky Irving edition? Playing really well for the Buccaneers. Deserves some respect. Let's do a would you rather on him. First name up. Sorry, I blanked. First name up. James Cook.
Ooh.
James Cook.
I'll go James Cook.
Give me James Cook.
I'm going to go James Cook, too. I think it's really close, though. Like, Bucky Irving.
I
Bucky's
love
really
my
good.
brother James Cook, man.
Whatever, man.
Bucky Irving could be in the
we can't flip,
conversation.
Fair.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but you've never let me live it down with CeeDee Lamb, and I feel like I have to hold that same energy with your Buffalo Bills.
5.5.
James Cook was fucking up.
5.5, 55 out of 100. James Cook.
My fault.
Chase Brown.
I
I'll
will
go
take
Bucky
Bucky.
Irving.
Chase is not an efficient running back.
Nah.
Bucky's
I'm going with
explosive. I
Bucky
like him,
Irving.
man.
Isaiah Pacheco.
Bucky Irving.
Come on.
I'm not a big fan of Pacheco.
He is. If he wasn't on Kansas City, no one would talk about him.
I'm crying.
Respectfully.
It's just because he runs
Shout
really
out to
hard
Rutgers,
and
though.
shit.
No,
Hope you
shout
get
out to
healthy soon.
Pacheco. This was disrespectful right
No,
now.
it was not.
Yes, it was.
Like a bottom 10 running back.
I would say respectfully, Pacheco is probably like the 20th best running back in the league.
Yo.
Chase Brown or Pacheco?
I would go Pacheco.
Really?
Yeah.
It's close.
Not saying
it's
much.
close. It's close. I can hear where Joel's coming from.
But I do think it's Bucky Irving over Pacheco.
Yes.
I do think so. Next name up, Najee Harris.
Give me Bucky.
Bucky.
More explosive.
Najee's been great. Ever since we shit talked him, he's been fucking amazing.
I'm not moved by Najee.
Has he
man.
been amazing?
He has been. Missed tackles forced. He's been
He's not what I
efficient.
want in a running back. If that
You
makes
want
sense.
some more explosiveness?
I want some more explosiveness,
Yeah,
a little
give
bit
me
more
Bucky
speed.
Irving.
Give me Bucky.
I'll continue the Najee.
Hold
hate.
on. The last couple of weeks, 2.6, 3.5, 2.5. He went on a nice Linsanity run 3 weeks in a row. 6 a carry, 5 a carry, 7.6 a carry. Aside of that,
Who do you play these last three? Play the Browns?
Cleveland, Baltimore,
Washington.
and Washington.
Mid. Okay, so he is who I thought he was.
Thank you. Come on, that's why we can't waver. Fuck John.
Another young running back, Tyrone Tracy.
I'll take Bucky.
take
Tyrone
Bucky.
has a fumbling
I'm gonna
problem.
take Bucky. I'm not too familiar with Tyron game, respectfully.
He's solid.
He's good.
I just wanted to make
He
that
just
clear.
needs
Keep
to
it
hold
100.
on to the rock.
If you fumble, I don't like you.
I'm going with Bucky Irving. Kyron Williams.
Give me Kyron.
It's so close.
You fell off.
I would
and
go Bucky.
You honestly make me sick.
Like, how would Bucky
He
look in
just
the
doesn't
Rams
stand on
offense?
business. No. You're
Dehls
right.
standing on business?
literally never.
It's not his
Have I ever
vibe.
been
Give me
a
Bucky
Kyron
Irving, though.
guy?
He doesn't really.
Come
yes.
on, man.
Yes.
I
Low-key.
have?
Low-key.
Coming into
You've
the
been a
season,
Rams
we
guy.
weren't.
Low-key. Low-key.
yeah.
You've been a Rams guy.
I like
So
the Rams.
by theory,
Was Kyron Williams not a fucking revelation last season?
He was amazing.
Jalen Green has to go.
He's horrible. He sucks so bad. It's destroying me.
Here we go, though. Amen. 15-7, baby.
All right, so who are y'all going with?
I'm
Kyron
going
Williams.
Bucky.
I'll go Bucky.
Going with Bucky. I like explosiveness. I really do.
The advanced numbers moving.
From
man.
running back, you need that,
Yes,
bro.
the
The
He's
last couple of
merchant.
weeks, Kyron's been back. He just
Stop
hold on
fucking
to
fumbling the
rock.
ball.
Hold it.
Grown
Yeah,
man.
I'm going to go with Bucky Irving. Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba.
I'm going with Chuba, too.
Chuba's been like a top 7 back
I
in
can't
the league.
ignore what Hubbard's been doing this year. It's Hubbard.
On the Panthers, too. Come on.
Yeah, I can't.
He figured it out this year. This offensive line for the Panthers is very good.
Yes.
It's
Money well
very
spent.
good. I'm gonna take Chuba.
And last name up, Brian Robinson.
I'm gonna take Bucky Irving. Talk about a Linsanity run.
Brian Robinson, he just got hurt.
Oh.
When Brian Robinson was healthy,
he wasn't fighting this hard for Kyron.
And the Commanders
He
were winning.
was it.
That's all I'm going
Who's
to
better,
say.
Kyron Williams or Brian?
You tell me Brian Robinson's healthy?
Yo!
It's close.
Give me
Brian
Bucky,
Robinson's
though.
a dog.
Give me Bucky.
I would go Bucky just because the injury history scares me, man.
Oh, you know what? Let's get nasty. No, let's get nasty. Bucky Irving or Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor still.
Even though he's been dog shit this year.
I got faith in him.
He's been dog shit.
That's his guy.
We have faith because what he's shown
That's
us,
his
he's
guy.
Jonathan Taylor, but he's been dog
Definitely
shit.
taking Jonathan
Taylor.
Taylor. Jonathan
Of course
Taylor.
he's better, Jonathan. But I'm just
I get what you mean.
Is Kyron Jonathan Taylor? No.
No.
He's just showing you Jonathan Taylor's his guy. He's standing on business with Jonathan Taylor. I got you, Dehls.
I'll stay on business with JT.
See?
Even though he's been fucking ass.
He's been ass.
Dehls, I got you, bro. I understand where you're coming from, bro.
In the NFC, who's out and who's in?
I'm going who's in. We're going obvious. The Lions are in. The Eagles are in. Minnesota's in. Green Bay's in. I believe the Falcons will make the playoffs for the South. And I believe that the Cardinals are going to be the team to win the division in the West. I believe Seattle makes the playoffs as well. I believe the last spot is either going to between 3 teams, the Commanders, the Niners, and the Rams. And I think the Niners find a way to make it, man.
Okay, so he
Big
probably...
Niners guy.
So I'll go who's in. I think.
Oh, wait, I apologize.
Work.
I'm sorry. I already had 7 teams there.
Yep.
Because I put the Seattle in.
Yes, you did.
So no Niners.
So that means the
Niners.
Commanders and the Niners are out.
Okay, so I'll go Philly, Detroit. I'll go Tampa Bay in this one, and I'm going to go with Arizona. Those are the division winners. And then I'll go Minnesota. I'm going to go Green Bay. And I'll go Seattle. I think Seattle gets in.
To Rudy, I apologize for when you edit this, brother.
Yeah, I think Falcons will get in. I think they. Well, no, sorry. Not the Falcons.
We got him. We got him.
I think Bucks will win the division. I think they find a way.
I think God
I
put
like
it
Bake.
in your head.
I like Bake. Seahawks win the NFC West.
Okay.
Packers, Vikings, wild card teams. We know at the top it's the Eagles and the Lions.
Well,
And then the final team.
You're kidding.
No, I'm saying. Sorry, my apologies. Should have cut you off.
And then the last team I'm gonna go with. For some reason, I just got a feeling that it's gonna be the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals get in.
Hey, we're
I'll put some order to mine. 1 through 7 seed.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Eagles win the NFC. Lions the 2 seed. Seattle wins the division. Atlanta wins the division. 3 wildcard teams. Vikings, Packers, Los Angeles Rams.
Eagles win the division. The NFC.
Or I shouldn't say win the. I do think they win the NFC, but best record in the NFC.
We've went from
I'm saying
Bengals
here.
being better than us to winning the NFC.
Why'd you dap him?
Because I feel like I gotta be a nicer guy, man. It's Thanksgiving. It's
Would you do that
Christmas.
to me?
Yes, it's the holidays.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, exactly.
Time.
If you ask me now about CeeDee Lamb, what you ask me now?
Am I in the clear with CeeDee Lamb? Wow.
Holidays. It's holidays.
Is
man.
that is this forever or just the holiday season?
Maybe next year. It depends on how he talks this summer because you know he likes to get nasty.
He's still top 3 in yards.
Because he's a fucking
Yeah,
demon.
he's a savage.
Now, before we move on, last little quick thing. We're gonna do contenders or pretenders, AFC and NFC edition.
Can I do something
combined.
real quick? Because
Only in the playoff picture, though.
Okay, I want to do something real quick, and I say this because
1 a.m.
I am. Shut the fuck up. I am the Tua Tagovailoa guy on the podcast.
1000%.
So there's no reason for me to do a would you rather on Tua because we know where I stand. Now Tua has been unbelievable since coming back from concussion.
Yes.
He's been one of the best in the league. It's the truth.
It's an annual tradition right here.
It really is.
Now, if you want to say that, I timed this perfectly
The names stay the
because
same.
it's getting cold, and
is
people
getting
like to
cold.
say
Getting icy.
people like to put narratives on my boy's name.
Remember 3 years ago, Dehls, when I took Jordan Love over Tua, you flipped?
You did. You cooked.
Do you still feel the same way?
I'd rather Jordan Love.
Yeah, you're a fucking casual.
This can either end really bad or really good.
Nevertheless, this is a would you rather
Here we go.
Tua Tagovailoa
Fuck,
edition.
My favorite quarterback. Really.
First name up, Jaden Daniels.
Tua has 5 weeks to either right his wrongs or make this list look really good. I will go with. It's a good tough one.
Right after week 5, Jay Daniels easy. This ain't even a conversation.
You know what? Give me Tua. Give me Tua.
I mean, after
Fuck Jaden.
my answers,
Fuck Jaden.
Yo, I also meant to tell you this. Guess when his birthday is?
Who, Jaden?
Yes.
Yours?
Yes.
Hate that for you.
You're a fan now?
Yes.
So easy to get to be a fan.
I wish I would have known that before the draft.
Now we're here.
This would be a 5.
Okay.
my answers are going to just strictly be on who's a better quarterback. Not injury history, all that other stuff. No, Tua. I'm taking Tua. He's a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels.
Shocked at that answer.
Tua's a better quarterback.
All right. Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
I would take Tua right now.
He has everything I need.
What is Baker better at?
Or
He might have a stronger arm, maybe.
Yeah, I think
I think he does.
Yeah. That's it.
Thinks a better runner.
I can hear this, but the playmaking from Tua since he's been
He's
back.
been getting out of the
Baker's
pocket,
playmaking
yeah.
is up there.
I'm not going to disagree.
And Nick Bosa. Should move me.
Yeah, give me Baker. And Baker, you saw how he ran for his running back and he
was- no,
blocked for him.
That was an amazing
Leadership.
play.
I like that. Not saying Tua's not a leader.
Tua, those 9
I don't want
teeth
Tua
was
doing
fucking
that shit.
knocking down.
He's nuts. That's not hit leadership. That's
That's called
a word I
toughness.
can't use on here, but it is what it is. Give me
I hate
Baker.
when he does this every time.
You're going with Baker?
Yeah.
I'm going with Tua.
Your guy. Hate to see it.
Who are you taking?
I said Tua.
Oh, okay. Jared Goff.
I would take
Jared
Tua.
Goff.
Jared Goff.
Oh, I would take Tua.
What is he better at than Tua is?
Jared Goff has a better arm.
He does have a good arm. I think Tua's touch and accuracy is better. I think he's more mobile too.
Probably the best in the
And
league.
Jared Goff's accuracy is right there.
It's not Tua's.
It's good.
I think
Tua's-
Jared
Tua's
Goff's
supreme number 1.
pocket presence is very underrated.
He can move around there for
Jared
sure.
Goff's pocket presence, you're saying?
He's underrated. I know we give him slack.
Tua's pocket presence is
Yeah.
elite.
I just-
Jared Goff this year, there's
Did we see what
multiple
he did to
occasions.
the Vikings?
Yeah.
Jared Goff to the Vikings. Oh my God,
Jared
it was
Goff this year,
sacks.
there's been multiple instances where he is spinning out of pressure. He's doing some things within the pocket.
Okay.
It looks slower than normal because, he's not a fast dude, but he's been one of the very best quarterbacks against the blitz and under pressure.
First time he got really, really pressured. Let me not say first time. The Texans really got after him and made him
Minnesota
uncomfy.
was a game that got to him.
All right. Bo Nix.
Tua.
Oh, Tua.
I would still, if I'm taking Jane Daniels, I would still take Tua.
Caleb Williams.
I'd take
Tua.
Caleb Williams.
Tua.
Right now, Tua.
Really? Okay.
Caleb's.
I would
Let me be
take
nice.
Caleb.
He's been
Caleb
good.
just had his best game, but
He's
I mean,
been
it's
good last
Tua.
2
Any
weeks.
rookie quarterback, I'm going with a
agree.
proven vet.
K1.
I would say Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray easily.
Okay.
Thinking twice about it.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. This is where shit gets nasty. Trevor, the talent's there. 100% of my mind.
Trevor, what do we do with you?
Trevor's
No
like
idea.
that. He's like that badass kid that showed you he can pass every test in the class, but refuses to do the homework, refuses to, study. It's just like
Talking in
being
class,
disruptive. Who do I want more? Do I want the punctual? I know he's gonna show up. He's gonna give me a B, or do I want the guy who I know can give me an A, but just keeps giving C-level effort?
Lawrence, before he went out this season, was playing some really good football before he got hurt.
I'll still take the talent of Trevor Lawrence.
I'm going with Trevor Lawrence.
Fuck yeah. I don't know. Trevor. I don't feel good about it.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
I'm a little fast.
I knew that.
Yeah.
No, he has no choice.
Yeah.
He has no choice.
Give me
Wait,
Jordan
what
Love.
do I have to do
Give
with
me
Jordan
Jordan
Love?
We're done. Last name.
What do I do with Jordan Love?
Last name. CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
Okay. And that's gonna do it.
One
Good
more.
list, right?
Drake May.
I should have.
Because he said rookie quarterback. That's why I was wondering.
I did say every rookie
This is the
except him.
exception.
Drake
I will
May.
say
Drake May.
Drake May.
Drake May.
I would take Drake.
Yeah, I mean, would you rather? I mean,
I have a crush on
look
him,
at look at Drake May. Look at just how he looks.
When the two matched up this past weekend.
Are you falling in love with Drake May?
I am. I got a
Drake May's
crush on
ugly.
Drake May.
Sorry.
Just said that, bro.
Huh?
You just stole my crush.
Oh, we got the same crush now.
You have a lot of crushes, brother.
I do.
You need to diversify it. It's really just Gino.
Okay. Well, Cam Ward's coming in the draft.
And he's as it gets. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a nigga. So I respect the hell out of that one. There we go. We got one.
That's it. I ain't got no more name.
You like Cam Ward or Shador more?
Shador.
I do like Shador more. Shador is so fire.
The
He's
aura
so cool.
come on, he fits exactly what I like.
It
Aura.
would be a fucking crying shame if he was not good in the NFL. Like, I genuinely believe he's so cool. Everything about him. He's also a talented guy, but I really want
his
it to
aura
translate.
outweighs his talent, in my opinion, right now.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. But he's still talented. But the aura is just,
It's
brother, he's
still
in
the
games
fucking
doing this.
move.
Like,
Is
come
he
on.
gonna play? Is he gonna in the NFL have a rollie on?
I think he will, and I can't fucking
Joe
wait.
Shane was at Colorado's practice.
saw that.
Yeah.
Joe Shane,
Scout.
they
He
give him a job.
tweeted, thank you God again.
Oh, and when the Giants lost this time, I saw it. The Raiders hadn't played
He did
yet.
this one on purpose.
That's
'cause-
the thing
yeah.
that I'll be honest. If Brian Daboll and Joe Shane lose their jobs, it is going to be the perfect case study of why teams and regimes, if you're going into a situation that's a clear rebuild, you should try to lose and not win. Because Brian Daboll overachieving in 2022, the fact that might cost him his job now. I mean, Joe Shane and Daboll didn't have a chance to pick their quarterback and pick the next leader of the franchise. They were stuck and given Daniel Jones. Like, I know there have been bad mistakes that have been made, but the playoff run and Daniel Jones playing well in the playoff game, it made them pay him $40 million. That's how you lose Saquon. That's how you lost Xavier McKinney.
Yep.
They also lost Julian Love.
Yep.
They also traded Leonard Williams.
Yep.
We're talking about 4 Pro Bowl level talents that left because you had to pay Daniel Jones. If Brian Daboll and Joe Shane lose their jobs, I think it'll be ridiculous.
Hey, Joe Shane could lose his job. Dave will keep it.
Lost four Pro Bowlers and 2 potential All Pros.
It's tough.
Pretty
Joe
brutal.
Shane should have listened to his fucking kid, man.
To be fair, the Giants really did want
They tried.
Jaden and Drake.
Oh, here comes Shador.
I feel like Joe Shane, I understand why people would want him to be gone. I
see.
think he at least needs this one draft because we know the Giants are going to get a quarterback. They're going to draft him, whether it's Cam Ward or Shador, whoever it may be. They at least deserve one chance to draft their quarterback and play out a
Can I ask you a
season.
question? Has he drafted well at all?
Joe Shane.
Really? No.
Well, Tyrone Tracy was a good pick.
Did he draft
I guess.
Dexter
I was going
Lawrence
to
or
say,
Drew
Phillips was a good
I was
pick.
going to say, I'll
Malik
name a
Neighbors.
couple. Agreed. Drew Phillips has been
Malik
good.
Neighbors.
How long has he been there?
Deontay Banks has been a decent pick. He has his moments of highs. He has some pretty bad lows.
See the Evan Neal draft? See
Pick
Evan
5
Neal,
and
Kayvon?
7, bad.
Yeah.
Well, Kayvon's bad now.
Oh no, there's no argument. He's been terrible this year.
Okay.
I'll have
You
no
won that.
problem
You won
admitting
that.
when I'm wrong.
You
No,
won
it's
that, bro.
funny.
Never.
I have a story about that. So basically, my barber, he cuts Kayvon's hair. So he's a Giants fan. His name is Speedy. I went to the shop and I was about to get a haircut. And I just told him, I was like, yo, bro. I was like, yo, Kayvon's not good, bro. I was like, he's not good. And, you know, he's over here telling me about these sacks and stuff, but this is what really stood out. He told me he's going to be here in 15 minutes. You can tell him that yourself. And I was just like, nah, I don't think I'm going to do that, bro.
Can't blame
I'm
you.
going to just sit down.
You had to make a business decision.
Nah, for
dude.
real.
But at the same time, you had KT in that draft, and you also drafted Evan Neal. Two clear.
That's a hilarious
Whiffs.
miss back to back.
Oh, yeah, so I understand the animosity towards Joe Shane. I mean, it
What
makes
free
sense.
agent hits does he have?
And he got Neighbors. I'll give him that one. He got Neighbors.
Did he get Bobby Okiki?
Illuminor was fine. That's a
yeah.
good pickup. Also, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt was not a bad pick.
He's having a bad year.
I thought he
Again.
started off. Last year was bad. This year I thought he was actually decent, unless Andrew Thomas was just the ultimate glue. I'm not gonna lie to you, like I care about the
Who
Giants this
drafted
year anymore.
Wandale Robinson?
He did.
He did.
I believe.
And Jalen Hyatt.
He did.
All right.
Yeah, those day 2, day 3.
Wandale's
receivers
good,
is
though.
Wandale's not bad.
No, I'm just asking.
He's a solid possession
What
receiver,
about
yeah.
Dexter Lawrence? Who's the guy that got
That's
him in
old.
there?
That was probably Gettleman, maybe.
Okay.
Before he's been on the team for a
Dexter
minute.
would have saved him. It didn't.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Andrew Thomas was also Gettleman.
yeah.
Yeah.
From
So
the
now,
old
we don't got to do contenders or pretenders. We can save that for another day.
Alrighty.
So, let's just predict these Thanksgiving games because they're coming up. And first game, Bears versus Lions.
Lions.
Who are we going with?
It's gonna be a good game.
Should be, yeah.
It's gonna be a really good game.
Well, last year the Lions faced the Packers, beat them early in the year. Then the Packers came and they spanked them at home.
They've
The
lost
Lions
8
at home.
straight Thanksgiving Day games.
The Lions
Really?
have.
The Lions?
Yes. Jared Goff was adamant. That's ending.
Dontavian Wicks last year, right? Was that
Wicks.
last year?
No, he was hurt.
Oh, right.
Christian Watson caught the first
Facts.
pass as a deep pass.
Do you see the Packers have the first in drop percentage? I think it's another top 10 in drop percentage, and then another top 15.
You're
No,
saying
10
receivers?
Yes.
Christian
Jordan
Watson's
Love-
number 1?
No, number one is Dontavian.
Jordan Love has a 10% drop percentage. this year.
Jaden Reed is high.
Yeah,
And
they
then
got
Christian Watson's
whole
third.
fucking
And you
team.
said he's better than Lad McConkey, man. Lad McConkey got.
I love
glue for
Jaden.
hands.
Jaden
you're
is
really
really,
young.
good. And if that's the one that I'm wrong on, I don't care. I really do like Jaden Reed as a talent. But this Thanksgiving, I'm going to go with the Lions. I'm just going to play it safe. I think that the Bears offense.
You picked the Bears last week, though. You don't think there's some upset potential with this one?
Back-to-back weeks, they've been close to winning them games, and they've just fallen short.
Offense
I
looked better.
thought they were going to do it last week. When they tied the game up, they
Had
get
my
ball.
heart racing. We got the fucking onside kick. That shit pissed me off.
They go into overtime. They get the ball first. I'm really like, the Bears are winning,
Caleb time.
and they found a way to blow it.
And that sack was nasty.
If there was any chance for me to pick them anytime rest of the season, it was if they won that game. And somebody tweeted at me, and they really put it perfectly. Why the hell did you choose the Bears after they knocked you out of your survivor pool?
Damn.
Like, no shit, Drew. No duh. Give me the Lions to win.
I got the Lions too, but Chicago's shown these last 2 weeks, divisional opponent, some good defenses. The offense has been moving. Caleb Williams has been fantastic.
He's moving me.
DJ Moore has been great. He has some life again. Keenan Allen had a great game last week, probably his best game of the season. So they have life, and it should be a good game. This could be the best game of the Thanksgiving slate, even though the night game should be fun as well. But I got Detroit here. Detroit's one of those teams that Baltimore 17 weeks, Detroit 17 weeks. It's really hard to beat that team.
They have lost 8 straight Thanksgiving games, Drew.
So they're due.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually a long ass time.
It's either 7 or 8. I think it is 8, though.
Dehls, you mentioned it. DJ Moore looks like he remembered how to play football again. Love that for him. We're back on the wagon.
Shane-
I love that for you.
Shane Waldron tweeted out, Adam Gase talks. That's how I'm treating Shane Waldron. That bumps up Geno too, by the way.
Give me Detroit though. I think this should be not a walkthrough. I think it should be a good ass game. But Detroit has just been the most consistent team in the league this year, offensively and defensively. They've been on the string. And Jared Goff said it, man. The streak ends this year, So give me Detroit in this one.
Yeah, I love the way that the Bears have been playing offense the last 2 weeks. I think Thomas Brown has brought life to this team. DJ Moore is getting involved in a multitude of different ways. Here's where I think it's going to end a little bit versus the Lions. And I hope I'm wrong. And I hope we do get a Caleb masterclass. Caleb has been great when he's thrown in 2.5 seconds or less. The Lions allow the lowest completion percentage on quick passes in the entire NFL. And also, on the other side, Lions offense versus the Bears defense, the Bears defense play a lot of single high safety coverage. And Jared Goff has the most EPA against single high safety coverage in the NFL. Against a team like the Lions, you're going to have to stack the box and respect the Lions' run. And if you do get out of that, then the Lions are going to run all over you. I just think that the Bears defense, although their pass defense has been a strength of theirs, their run defense has been a liability.
Yes.
I think the Lions should be able to run the ball. They should be able to do a lot of play action. Jared Goff should be able to get chunk plays off of that. And I think this defense, Ali McNeil has been elite this year.
He's been amazing.
With Zadarius Smith, he's been playing awesome since he's gone to Detroit. I think they get after Caleb a lot this game, but I wouldn't rule out a good Bears showing, and they have lost 5 games in a row. So maybe this is the one that they win, and it surprises everybody. Thanksgiving, it's shocking, but no, I think the Lions win on Thanksgiving. And my score prediction, not record prediction, my score prediction is 28-13.
7-game losing streak. Also, game behind me at least. 2 games behind Dehls.
Oh, I
You've
know.
been cooking.
Yeah, I know. I've been number one, I think.
Hey,
in
shout out to John for taking the Chargers last
Well,
night.
I was number 1 last week, so.
No,
was
tied
the Chargers.
first.
Huh?
I was
You
too-
took
No,
the
I had
Chargers?
the
Maybe
most
I was
wins
looking
last
at you
week.
and not
Oh,
John.
it was
did?
me. Yeah, I think I was the only one that took the Chargers. I thought they was
Unless
gonna
we
win,
had
honestly.
Damn, I wish I was
I was
John.
tied
right.
first this week, too. I've been tied first, like, the last couple of weeks.
I thought they had it last night, man. Just felt something in the air.
If something's going to fuck me, it's going to be this week, though. There's a lot of games
We
that
were
are
tied last
crazy.
week, sorry.
There's only 2 games. I already went through to my pick 'em. There's only 2 games I was like, this could go either way.
Really, only
I did
2.
I did do the same thing, but I felt like it was a little bit harder for me.
So we got we all got the Lions clean sweep. Next game, Giants versus Cowboys.
Was this one difficult for you?
No, I got the Cowboys.
Okay, I also have the Cowboys.
I think the Giants are entering laughingstock kind of territory with their team right now. You had Dexter Lawrence after the game saying that the team played soft, and then he had a kind of incident with the reporter saying, you guys said the team is soft. I said they just played soft. You have the whole Tommy DeVito situation starting over Drew Lock. When you pay Drew Lock $5 million, you have the rumblings about possibly firing your head coach and GM. I just think the Giants are in a really, really bad spot organizationally. And although Dallas has been asked this year, I trust Cooper Rush. He's been outside that first game against, was it Houston? Mm-hmm. He's shown when Dak's been injured, he could be a serviceable backup quarterback. That's all he has to be to beat the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just don't know how you trust the Giants. I think they're purposely trying to lose right now because Tommy DeVito's not better than Drew Lock. Drew Lock is not a starting caliber quarterback, but I think he's a okay backup. And if you told me Drew Lock was starting in this game, I would pick the Giants.
Tommy DeVito is banged up. There's a chance Lock plays.
If Drew Lock played, I would pick the Giants. But no, I'm going with the Cowboys. You can't trust Tommy DeVito. He's not even a backup level quarterback in the league. So I'm going with the Cowboys.
Shout out to Tommy, Jersey. Give me Dallas and Cooper Rush.
Oh, he gets more love than Pacheco? That's insane.
Honestly, I didn't even know Pacheco was from Jersey.
He went to Rutgers.
Yeah. Tommy just has more aura in Jersey.
Minnesota's done, bro.
Who?
Minnesota.
The
the
Timberwolves,
Wolves?
they just lost, right?
Who'd they play?
The Rockets.
Attorney, right?
Oh, the Rockets clinched the...
Yeah, it's not really more so that
Cup
the Wolves
shit.
are done. It's more so the Rockets are nice. The Rockets are good.
Been here.
As fuck.
Told you that. Check game and stats.
Don't
my
Care how
twin,
he
man.
did. Don't care how he did.
No,
it,
check
man.
Sengun's stats.
He had a triple
She
double.
had triple double.
Oh, yeah?
he's
Yeah.
good.
What was points, rebounds, how many?
I think it was
know.
2010 and
I think it was a 2011.
2010 and 11. 3 steals.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's been playing some really good defense. You seen that?
No, I actually
22, 10, and 11.
NBA. Was it NBA in depth or
3
NBA
blocks, 3
University?
steals.
I've seen that.
Heard? 3 blocks, 3 steals.
Yeah,
6
he's playing
stocks.
some
Wow.
really good defense because
been playing all right.
he is locked the hell in.
His
He's anchoring that defense.
His brothers up front help a lot.
Oh, yo, but he's in the back end. He's
His
putting in
brother's
work.
in front help a lot.
He's putting in work on the back.
He's playing solid.
Oh yeah, he's doing his thing.
This year, there's been moments though where
He's
teams
just
have,
their best player. You know, nothing.
No,
big.
he's their best offensive player by far.
Oh, no, he's just their best player in general.
He's probably their fourth worst defensive player.
I don't know about that. He's playing some good defense right now. They
Yeah.
beat the
They have
Timberwolves.
a lot of good defensive talent.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
There's
fair.
nothing
You know what I
wrong
mean?
with that. You know,
Aiming
Listen,
15, 8, 4, and 3. Oh my god.
Can you
So
believe
good,
they was talking about trading Şengün, man?
oh.
Nuts.
Can't believe it.
No, we need to trade the other guy.
What Jalen Green shoot?
He didn't play much. 23 minutes. They sat him.
He sucks.
Now Jalen Green is I mean,
Hey, you got
we saw
Melo.
this coming.
Yo, brother.
you.
So I'm watching the Warriors game.
I like him. I like Jalen
Jalen
Green.
I'm watching the Warriors game this morning.
blew
right?
that game.
Yeah, we blew back to back. Shit sad. Kerr decided, yo, we're up 15, right? Sit Steph and Dre. Yo, the team is coming back. I'll just wait to the 5-minute mark when Steph and Dre, and then I'll put him back in. Did this common thing, but I say the game. I bring up the game because I was watching Cam Thomas play, right? And the Nets sat Cam the whole fourth quarter. Ended up coming back, won the game. But what was shocking to me is the way Warriors were playing him. They were sending doubles at him. And do you know how many times he passed the ball out the double?
Never.
Maybe once. He was taking step back jumpers with two people in his
Who
face.
was doing this,
Cam
you said?
Thomas.
Cam Thomas.
Uh-huh.
He's a
And
bucket.
the shit had me laughing because I'm like, what's wrong with him? Like, it was mind-boggling how he was side, two people in front of him. Ah, fuck it. Just shoot the
Water?
shit. No. Like, some of them were in, but others were like, what are you doing? I was just like, yo, bro, he really doesn't give a fuck. Like, I respect the hell out of that.
Y'all really hated on Victor's shot diet. He's so fucking nasty. 6 for 12 from 3. It's been every night he plays.
Dog
Chris
fight
Paul has
with
made a
Jazz.
major impact on that team.
We spoke about it on play.
KD's
on,
back, right?
Bleacher
He
Report.
did.
He is
KD
back.
is back.
5 for 8,
Yeah.
14 points
We are
already.
losing.
Who are
right
they
now.
playing? Oh,
Us.
they playing you guys.
LA.
It's
So-
like the fourth time y'all played in a
I think
month.
third. Wait, yeah, facts.
So we all have the Cowboys in this game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my score is 17-10. I think it's a
It's
little
an
bit
ugly
closer.
game. I hate that.
That's
They're
definitely
ugly.
a sleep to that game.
Yeah. Dolphins versus Packers. Now this is the
Here
one
we
we
go.
gotta
I'll
talk
be up
about.
for this one.
Yes, we are here for this.
Dolphins versus Packers. Green Bay.
Packers haven't been tested in a while, man.
It's apparently supposed to be cold.
It
Last
is
time
gonna
they
be
were
cold.
tested was the Lions.
Green Bay.
They
Chance
failed
of
that
snake
test.
snow.
Now,
Thanksgiving.
Prime time.
Big moment.
One of the biggest moments of Tua's career. Some
I think
could
it's
say.
the
we
biggest.
keep saying that every year.
the neck on that statement's egregious.
If they win
It's
this
one
game,
of.
the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs.
They're going on a run.
Could you
right?
say top 5 most important game of his career?
Could you say this is
Top
the
five.
this
All right,
is the
here we
changing
go.
point
Here
of
we
the
go.
season?
Do we want to hear them actually?
Yes.
Chiefs, number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, Bills last year.
Yes.
Yes. You choked.
The Titans, his rookie season.
Yes.
No, not his rookie season.
See,
His
yeah,
second
yeah,
season.
I know what you mean.
The
The
Bills,
snow game
his
or
rookie
the rain
season.
game.
You could argue.
That
They
Ravens
had
game.
what, 4 interceptions?
The Ravens game
Ass
last
whooping.
year.
Yes.
I
Tuck
agree.
that up.
The Ravens game last year because that was MVP. That was his chance at an MVP.
That shit was important.
This is the first year when Tua was first really breaking out with McDaniels versus the Niners. I would argue
This
that
game
game was
could
bigger.
be game
This
changing.
is
like,
big because it's season kind of ish
On the line.
on the line,
It's on the line.
and
If
it's
they lose
also
this game,
narrative game.
the
It's
chances
the weather, it's the snow, it's the cold.
the chances they make the
Prime
playoffs
time.
if they lose this
Prime
game
time.
is
This is
slim.
Thanksgiving on NFL.
I'm
This is-
being honest.
we go.
That's prime
If you
time.
think I'm picking against my boy, you're out of your goddamn mind. I
don't
don't
know,
give
are
a fuck. Give me the Miami Dolphins. I've seen this offense go to heights. Oh God, it's so fucking beautiful to watch every single week what he's been able to do. And it hasn't even been with Tyreek Hill. That's what's moving me the most, River.
Yes, River.
Damn, hard.
No
Hard is
Tyreek
nuts.
Hill.
One of the hardest I've heard him say.
That's worse than the other one. But
No Tyreek Hill. Jonnu Smith.
yep.
Tyreek Hill's on the field. My bad.
You know what's hilarious? You know what's hilarious?
Get him. Yep, get him.
He's one of the best decoys in the
Aaron
sport.
Rodgers is his quarterback, and he has the worst quarterback in the division.
Oh yeah. Calm.
Oh shit,
Calm.
yeah.
Calm.
Yeah, it's not even a thought.
2-2.
Who?
Drake May.
Oh my God! Not on Sunday.
You gotta pull up something.
No. Drake May was seeing ghosts on that
40-yard
field.
touchdown was a dime.
No, it was a dime when no one cared. When the game was done, it was over, signed and
take
sealed.
it how you can get it, Drake.
But what does that what does that lead me into? This defense has been playing extremely well. The secondary really has stepped up. The run game over these last few weeks really has been at the forefront of what's been different. Gone against some weak rush offense, to be fair. I will put that in there, no doubt. But that's going to be the most important in stopping this Packers offense because Josh Jacobs has been one of the most efficient backs in the league. They've just had one of the most efficient run games, period. And I think that we will see, once again, the Dolphins struggling to run the ball just because they've had a natural lack of success in that regard. But they will need to have a better run game in this one. But I think it's going to be a great game. I'm going with the final score, 27-24. My Dolphins pull it out. And yeah, I said my Dolphins because with Tua, we're fucking back.
My brother actually, he watches the show a good amount. He's a Packers fan. He fucking hates when we pick them because he says the curse is real, and he says it just always feels like
we've done so well.
No, he says like he always texts me like, "Why you guys pick us? Every time you pick us, we lose."
He's lying.
Or why did I pick us?
They're fucking like 8-3 or some shit.
It's just them 3 losses. I guess we picked them, and he hates when we pick them so much.
I'll be honest.
Didn't pick them week 1. That's for damn sure.
Fuck no.
I thought about picking the Dolphins, and I might go with them just because I think he
fell off.
It's something at play here.
He didn't fall off. He's a smart guy.
Where's the hatred? Where's the love for the game?
No, you know why he doesn't hate him anymore?
The hate Tua,
because
Joel.
he's being moved, and you're stuck on casual watch, and it's shocking because you're smarter than that.
I took Tua over more quarterbacks than they did.
My bad.
I wish the hate Tua guy was back.
No. The thing is, he's grown as a man and as an analyst. He's said multiple occasions, the most unbiased analyst in not just the country, the world.
You've seen his header. Watch the film.
He understands the level that they've been.
Nuts.
I'm getting so excited, my tip fell off.
Oh, shit.
They've been operating at such a different level offensively, and he sees that. He understands that. But not just offensively. More importantly, if we're going to really magnify something, that pass offense.
Yeah.
My, oh, my. Talk to me. Because they lit up the Bills, and it was a fucking masterpiece. They just fell short.
Always do.
I think the Dolphins right now, there's a chance that they can make a run at the playoffs, and it has to start with this game. I think this is one of the most important games of Tua's career. This is very important for Mike McDaniel.
Cook.
He needs this game desperately. And you look at how the offense is playing. It's playing at a high level. I do think they padded a little bit against the Patriots and the Raiders. Against the Rams, they didn't look so good offensively. Their defense was a star of that show.
For sure.
Here's what it comes down to for me. It's a couple of things. I was really struggling with picking this game. Who can generate pressure better? I think that's pretty much a tie right now.
Agreed.
I think the Dolphins have shown a little bit of a better knack for getting pressure just with the 4-man rush.
I'm with you.
But Jeff Hafley, what he's been able to do with Stunts and Rashawn Gary, he has 2 pressures or more in the last 11 games. And as of recently, he's really playing at a high level. And you still have Kenny Clark. And they have some players on the back end. Jair probably won't play again, though. And that concerns me with the Packers corner room. Then I think about it's going to be a cold game. What does that mean? It means that this is going to be a game where you're going to get a team that runs the ball. And who can run the ball better? I think the Packers
100%.
can run the ball better. So that is in favor of them. I think Jordan Love is a better quarterback in the cold than Tua because he has a better arm. This is one of the toughest games for me to pick. It really is. And in my final notes right here, I did it. Listen, keys to the game. Can Dolphins generate pressure? Who can run the ball better? What quarterback will take better care of the ball? That's something I have to take into account.
And that is an easy answer.
Because Jordan Love has been throwing interceptions. The Dolphins have only won 1 game in the last 32 years when it's 23 degrees or colder. And then
it's a bigger issue than Tua. It's a bigger issue than Tua.
Then I think about the DNA of these two teams. One team is young. One team is older. It's a short week. I got the Packers 23-17. I think they're winning this game.
You fucking I thought we were gonna go Miami.
It's every week with some team that, like, he's probably can take that team, but he's like tries to hold you in. You're a show, man. I respect it. Who you got, Riv?
I got Green Bay in this one, man. Listen, this is probably, we just went through it, probably like Tua's 8th most important moment in his life.
Honestly, it might be 6. Honestly, it might be 6.
But it's definitely important. I think this game for Miami specifically could definitely be a game changer. It could be something that can change the whole way of the season goes throughout the process, because I think we talked about the schedule earlier. They could still make a run, sitting at 5-6. They're not far off from Denver, from the Chargers, so they can still make a run. But I think Green Bay right now, they've been quietly one of the best teams in the league this year, or in the NFC specifically. They've won a shit ton of games. Their offense hasn't been, the turnovers have been there, but their run game has been there. And when Jordan Love is not turning the ball over, he's been fine.
He also doesn't take sacks at all.
That's extremely important. Just sometimes he does make very odd plays that you're just like, what are you doing?
Well, son.
Yeah, but the defense, they do cause turnovers, and you get a cold game, you get a rocky primetime game. No offense to Tua, but what we get from primetime sometimes is him being a little rocky, him turning the ball over.
You're not lying.
I got Green Bay in this one.
I got Green Bay too. I do think it's a big test for both teams because you have Miami these last couple of weeks playing the Raiders, playing the Patriots.
Where are your stones?
First and pick them. That's where my stones are, buddy.
Congrats. And I was fucking scratching and clawing to get my way up. How did I do that?
Blake's
By
now signed
fucking
with the
showing
Dodgers.
my stones, baby.
Hate to see that.
What happened?
Blake's now to the Dodgers.
No.
Yeah,
Hate
5
that
years.
for you guys.
These dudes get fucking everyone. I got the Packers though. Listen, pretty simple. Tua's got to show it to me. Tua's got to go in there.
Oh, he'll show it to you. Yeah.
When a cold
How
game,
big you think it is?
game on the road,
Huge.
prime time against another top quarterback, another top head coach.
Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay.
Cold,
Did it on prime time.
cold,
Tua didn't play well.
And he
in that
didn't
game.
even play well and they won.
cold. Forgot that part, brother.
And Jordan Love.
Here's the thing.
INTs.
This is the biggest
Green
thing.
Bay. He's
This is
always
why I
cold.
can't
Bad
pick the
pass
Dolphins.
defense because Jair's out.
This is why I can't pick the Dolphins. It really comes down to this. I think the Packers can run the ball better. The Dolphins have not been able to run the ball all season long.
At all.
And this Dolphins offense all year long, they have struggled against split safety coverages versus the Rams on primetime. That's what the Rams use. They just had 2 safeties back. They loaded up the middle of the field where the Dolphins offense wants to target. And they said, throw outside the numbers. We're going to let you throw that.
I was going to say, from watching the game, maybe the numbers say otherwise. From watching, it seems as if Tua has been really comfortable throwing outside the numbers over these last couple of weeks. He had this throw to Odell Beckham on the sideline that Odell usually makes that catch, especially he's older, he's washed. He's not that same level of guy. He had that drop pass. I see the plays to Waddle on the sideline. I see the throws to Tyreek on the sideline. He has that in his arsenal. I think that we've seen it because defenses, like you mentioned, have really honed in on that middle of the field, have taken that away from him because that has been the bread and butter for not just Tua, but Miami's offense as a whole. So I think over these last couple of weeks, I've seen growth in that department, but you're not wrong in your statement.
So, and that's what Jeff Hafley loves to do. He loves to disguise his defense. He loves to basically force offense's hands. And you have Kendall Lamb, who's in there for Austin Jackson on the right side. That's Rashawn Gary's matchup. And Kendall Lamb has been good replacing Austin Jackson this year at right tackle, but that's going to be something I look forward to. And Jalen Ramsey is on an injury report with a knee injury. Teron Armstead's on an injury report with the knee injury.
They're playing.
I mean, with the injury. So it's like they're an older team. It's a short week. The Packers are young. They're fresher. And it kind of does come down to what quarterback do you think will be able to throw with more velocity in these conditions? And it is Jordan Love.
Basic. That's basic. Sorry.
So you're going with the Packers, Dehls.
Go Pack, go.
You have no stones, and it's disgusting. And I thought you, of all people, who have been putting your stones on the table every single week.
How many times did I take the Jets this year?
That's idiotic, idiotic decisions.
Shit,
Yeah, no,
too much.
yeah, it's dumb.
Too
It's
fucking
dumb.
much. Too
It's
fucking
fucking
much.
stupid. That's nothing to do with stones. It's borderline brain dead. Dehls.
Sometimes stones comes with being an idiot.
I
That's what
agree
I'm
with
saying.
you.
Sometimes you get hit by them stones, a little slow.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
you wake up, you should do it again.
And sometimes you got to get hit in the stones to understand the pain and the devastation that you've made
And
a
he
decision.
did. He hasn't picked the Jets since.
Exactly. Oh,
Bye week.
facts.
I would have taken the Jets.
No, yeah, but listen, I don't feel good about it. I think this is my final score is 21-17. I think it's gonna be a really close game. It's gonna be a defensive battle. And the Dolphins have to show it, like Dell said, they have to win these meaningful games. And the Packers also have a lot to prove too, because their 3 losses this year have come to the Eagles, the Vikings, and the Lions. And I'd argue in 2 of those 3 games, they shot themselves in the foot multiple times and didn't give themselves a chance to be in it throughout the game. And against the Eagles, I mean, the mistakes galore.
Jordan
against
Love.
them.
That damn field, man.
Yeah, almost a pick
Yeah,
six.
I mean,
Can't
everybody was
believe
slipping.
they really switched out the fucking turf every single time. When there's something bad for the Packers, they just got the good turf in for the
and
Eagles.
he
right?
still threw a pick. Almost threw a pick six.
Can I say this?
Fucking
This is the last
ass.
thing I'll say. I know I've been very animated on this topic. What happens when Tyreek breaks out? What happens? Exactly. We're
He's
waiting.
due.
Jesus, brother hasn't 100 yards since week 1.
Yeah, he's due.
He is
Garrett clears?
so due.
Low-key.
What is Garrett doing?
How close are they in
I
yards?
don't know.
Actually?
They probably should be.
They're probably so far apart.
Garrett should definitely be ahead by a good
And
amount.
you know what's
Yeah,
crazy
that's
with Tyreek?
true.
Waddle just had a
Takes
good
1
ass
week.
game.
It does.
Exactly.
Waddle just had a good ass game.
Takes 1 week. Because what happens when Tyreek
Is he gonna wake up? Are we
Finally
getting
wakes
Tyreek
up.
at the old?
Yeah, but that's the
Tyreek?
thing. Like, I think a big part of that is
Tyreek only has 570 this year.
Yeah.
the
He can
defenses.
still get 1,000.
They are taking that away, and they're fine with the Jonnu Smiths of the world.
772
You know,
for Garrett.
But that's
doing what he
Seven,
does.
but that's what the Dolphins want right now. A big acquisition for them was Jonnu Smith. I was very vocal about that in the offseason.
He was good.
Jonnu
He's been
Smith
good.
was a respectable option for Atlanta, and they needed a tight end that was reliable, one that actually is a body and that can catch. Jonnu Smith has been killing in that underneath intermediate, and Tua really trusts him, and that's been a constant in their offense over these last couple of weeks.
Black Friday game: Raiders versus the Chiefs.
Move on.
Chiefs.
Chief, no Raiders upset here.
Nope.
No Raider
Okay,
upset.
I got the
This
Chiefs
being on
winning
Black Fridays.
24-17. I think it's going to be a close
It
game.
can probably
too.
be
It
ugly.
can be a close
Yeah.
game.
We could find a better game than this, man.
Listen, it was close to the Panthers.
Were they Black
man.
Friday? No, they were
I
Christmas
told
last
you
year.
I'm not surprised at that outcome.
Yeah, I just think the Chiefs have a tough time dealing with quarterbacks that careers are kind of in the mud. You know, Zach Wilson torched them last year too.
They
So,
did.
You know, those quarterbacks tend to have career games against the Chiefs for some reason.
Where's Zach? Is Zach under contract next year? He's a free agent.
I think he is a free agent
well, I
next
mean,
year.
Where's he
anybody
gonna
that
go?
signs him next year is going to be like
gonna get a stud?
They're going to get a.
I'll be honest, I won't be surprised if we keep him around as a backup.
Yeah, definitely should.
Oh yeah, he's gonna under the tutelage of
I'll say, learn under
Sean
Sean
Payne,
Payton,
and
for
he's
sure.
probably younger than Bo Nix. So
He probably is.
Hey, Rob had 12 points today. 24 minutes.
Billingham, nice.
Did you guys know Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, born same year?
I did see that.
They're the
yes.
same age. Yeah, they've been in.
Or Jaden's like 11 months
Don't-
younger or
don't-
something.
Like Jaden Daniels. Yeah.
Yeah, Jaden was an old prospect
Jaden
too.
Daniels has been in college since like 2019.
Yeah, facts.
Thank you for telling me that, Drew. I got him.
And Michael Penix, they're all born
I
same.
knew that. They make it
2000.
very known Penix is really old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win the Daniel Jones sweepstakes?
I pray to Yahweh. It's the Niners. I want it so bad. I want it so bad.
But
Why, he's gonna
Raiders don't
just
have a
throw
quarterback
games
right
away
now.
for them.
If that's what
The
you
Raiders
think,
don't have a
sure.
quarterback right now.
He's not.
He's gonna go to a
I
contender.
would
He said.
kill.
For what?
Kill.
Backup.
Him
Kyle Shanahan.
and Kyle Shanahan.
Of course, got Brian Dable, Kyle Shanahan, Malik Neighbors.
Still
fucking
ain't-
What more does he
Dehls.
need?
Jesus Christ.
But he will have
Saquon, CMC.
he
Still
will have
ass.
more important than anything.
Andrew Thomas,
Trent Williams. Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
He
He's
will.
got it all.
The difference in play with Daniel Jones when he has Andrew Thomas is fucking drastic.
5 years, 182 mil.
For Blake, deserved.
How old is he?
He was a fucking phenom to end the season. I pray we get Soto back or we're cooked.
On to the NBA portion of the show. This is going to be a weekly tradition. Player of the week.
Love it.
This week it was Giannis Antetokounmpo
Bad week for the West.
and Harrison Barnes.
Me and Dehls was just talking about it in the car. What did he do this week?
I saw he had 20 in every game. I believe he had 20 in every game.
Really bad week for the West.
Bad week for the West. I'm not even
I
exaggerating.
mean, Harrison Barnes. I mean, we could talk about him first. He,
Sure.
Shout out to
23
Harrison
and
Barnes.
9, 62% from the field. Spurs were 3-0.
First player out.
Now, Riv,
Whoa.
you've been really disrespectful. You know, when the Spurs signed Chris Paul, you thought it was a low impact move. It didn't impact winning. But, you know, I'm checking the standings, and
Cook.
what is Chris Paul doing? He's impacting winning at a high level.
Interesting. You think it's last?
LaMelo scoring 30 on the Hornets and losing. Chris Paul scoring 10 and 8 on the Spurs
Shot
and
at you.
winning.
This has nothing to do
That's
with me.
it's a different.
Excuse me?
It's
This
has nothing to do with
sometimes
me. I just
you
play.
just
He's averaging
impact
like
winning
43
better.
points in the last 3 games.
And they're winning
Pritchard's
too.
putting up better numbers.
Isn't Chris Paul? You know who
like
Chris Paul?
16,
They put a
5,
Chris Paul and
4.
Tyrese Halliburton thing up together. the stat thing up.
No way.
You know, before you go into that,
Hallie cooked,
LaMelo had 44 yesterday. Do you know how many points?
They had 84. And Brandon had 26.
And on what? Did you see efficiency?
No, I didn't really
It wasn't
know.
great.
They had
Can we
84
get
points.
my brother some help?
On a serious
Grant
note,
Williams
this
for his
is
ACL, man. That was just really bad.
I have something.
That was brutal to watch, actually. It wasn't good.
I have something for the next NBA takeaways thing that we're gonna have that is features LaMelo Ball a little bit, but on the Spurs right now, they're 3-0, and
This week.
Yo,
Last
cook up a
three.
blind
Yes.
ranking for us,
this
please.
week I will say this: I think Chris Paul has
Paul
been
blind
the
ranking.
biggest difference in why the Spurs are playing well and winning.
Not
this year.
Stephon.
Stephon Castle's a reason for
He's
it.
up there.
But here's the thing:
His
Chris Paul.
defense has been all world.
Chris Paul is the point guard. We all knew that.
Yep.
He went to the Clippers and turned them into a functional organization.
Cook.
He went to OKC when they were supposed to rebuild and they made the playoffs. He
Cook.
went to the Rockets and they went toe-to-toe with the Dynasty Warriors.
Cook.
And then he went to the Suns and they went to the NBA Finals.
Cook.
And then he went to the Warriors and it didn't work out so well right there. But then now on the
I
Spurs,
wonder why.
do you want to know who has the best
Just happened to
point
be with us, right?
differential on the Spurs right now? It's Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a plus 15.4. When Chris Paul is off the court, they are a minus 10.2. When he's on the court, they are a plus 5.2. The Spurs this year, 9th in defense rating. The defense has been amazing. And Chris Paul, even at his age, averaging 11 points, almost 9 assists per game, he is not getting talked about enough, and I feel like because of the LeBrons and the Kevin Durant's of the world, they're still playing at an elite level. Chris Paul's not playing at an elite level, but he's playing at a really good level, and the longevity that he's been able to have in his career is not talked about enough, but what he's doing is special.
All right, so I did cook up a blind.
Are we talking about Giannis? Or just where's Harrison Barnes, Chris Paul, and Giannis? Should we talk about fucking Middleton coming
I
back?
want to talk about Giannis real quick, solely to
Bucks might be
say the
back.
stat.
Are the Bucks back?
Did you see they won today? No
They're like the
Giannis.
fucking 5th seed now.
Do you want to know who went off? To no
Damn.
one's
Crazy.
surprise, he had 37. So I say
Doc
this:
Rivers, they got them playing hard.
Giannis was Player of the Week. Giannis has put a firm grasp that he is the second best player in the world. That is most definite than anything else. Here's what I want to highlight: he's shooting 48% from the mid-range
Yes,
this
he's been-
season,
yes.
and that's on 69 attempts. He's been cash money in
Yes,
that regard.
he
I
is.
really want to give him some
Doc
love.
Rivers got there and told him got to
No,
work that jump shot in.
No,
No,
the
bro,
mid-range has been cooking.
he's been
Yeah.
mentioning Doc Rivers to me way too much in
has
the
been.
last
Giannis like
6
a
hours.
40
Yeah, no,
48%,
Giannis
I
has
think,
definitely
mid-range.
been.
So now let me ask you something, Riff.
Okay.
Crazy.
If
Thanks.
the Bucks go on a run and they win the NBA Cup tournament, are the allegations about Doc Rivers not being able to win a championship,
Did you
are
say
they done?
the NBA Cup?
What do you mean?
Here's the thing:
It's a
Darvin Ham
championship.
has in-season tournament
championship.
experience.
It's a championship.
Darvin Ham has in-season tournament experience.
Bron's
You
got
guys-
5
And
rings
this
right
is
now?
when everybody hypothetically should be their healthiest. So this is the toughest time to
It's
win
actually a
it.
bad luck to win the NBA Cup at the moment because the Lakers won it and they were shit after that.
We weren't shit.
Yeah, you guys went on like a pretty shitty ass losing streak after.
We were pretty.
So
mediocre.
I understand, the Bucks suck. It's Doc's fault. The
No,
Bucks
no,
are good
no.
now. The Doc gets no credit.
No, I think they've been
Look
playing
at
better.
the Sixers. I mean, the Sixers would die to have Doc Rivers instead of Nick Nurse.
They would
right
die
now.
to have their players healthy. That's the first point of it.
No, but listen, Giannis Player of the Week. They're 4-0, 14th in offensive rating and 14th in defensive
playing
rating
better.
this year, and that's not counting the game that just happened. So
So they're league average.
the
team.
Bucks are playing pretty good.
Should we
basketball.
highlight Torian Prince being one of the best 3-point shooters in the league? Or
I mean, he's always been a good shooter.
but this is nuts.
Yeah, I think this is a funny conversation.
Ham new.
Ham loves
Fucking
Prince.
pockets, man.
I think we have the Spurs who are playing some good basketball as of lately. You have a collection of things. You know, you have Wemby playing really well. You have Stephon Castle inserting himself into the starting lineup. He's been playing
Shout
really
out
well.
to Area 51.
Yeah, you got fire.
They
You have
cook.
CP3. CP3's been playing well. I think how long is that going to last? I don't know. Like, we'll see how that goes. But they've been playing really well at
He's
the
on a
moment.
vegan diet, so it should last pretty well.
Who?
The
CP3?
Spurs?
No, Chris Paul, yeah.
I was talking about the Spurs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Well,
Spurs.
as long as he's good, they're gonna be.
How long
good.
has he been on
You
the
know that.
diet for?
They
I think it was some time.
They were able to win games without Wemby.
No, I agree. I just like it's so weird because we've seen teams that are bad kind of win good early in the year.
I mean, he's a point guard.
He is the point guard. You're not lying there. With the Bucks, though, I think that's a more important conversation. I think they have been playing much better. I think they've started to get that continuity together. I still am waiting and seeing. You know, I still want to wait and see how long this lasts. You know, I want to see if it's consistent. I know the NBA Cup is really important. These teams come to play for sure. But I think it's still early. I think it's still early to kind of fill teams out. You know, I think Houston's like the number 1 seed in the league right now. So, You know,
They just won the cup, yeah.
in the cup. Yeah,
no, I think they're going to the finals
Who?
in the cup.
the Rockets. So the bracket hasn't started.
Hasn't
yet.
started. No, they might have just clinched
They
top
clinched.
seed.
Okay, so yeah, they clinched for sure.
because they're 4-0, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but shout out to Harrison Barnes and shout out to Giannis.
So are you guys buying the Bucks now?
They had their best win of the season is the Rockets. I mean, the Rockets have been one of the better teams in basketball. The other wins: Bulls, Pacers, Hornets, Heat tonight without Giannis, as you mentioned. So
Still early from our last
Buying
conversation.
in what regard? Contenders?
I mean, you think that they're a playoff team?
They're a
a
top
team to
five
watch
team
out
in
for.
the
Are they a playoff team? They better be.
Oh no, they're a team to watch out for.
No.
like Dehls is over here like
Wait and see.
looking.
No.
Wait and see.
nah, their
will
perimeter
always
defense still
respect
scares me.
exactly. I
Their
will
perimeter
always respect
defense
Giannis. I still don't love the surrounding team.
Yeah.
I don't.
Torian Prince, Dame.
I fuck him. I
Brooke
love. I
Lopez.
respect him. Respect him. I do. Not fuck him. I
Yeah, I
fuck
heard
with
that.
Dame.
That's
I fuck with
caught me
Dame.
off guard for a
Dame's
little
cool.
bit. I fuck him. Like, yeah.
Nah, fuck
That's totally
Torian Prince.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into the Bucks. I think they have roster problems. They're going on a little 4-game win streak. They're going to go on another 4-game
You
win
know
streak.
who I
They're
trust,
gonna go
though?
on
Middleton's
a
coming
You know
back.
who I trust though?
Yes.
back.
I'm excited about that.
Our New York motherfucking Knicks,
Oh yeah,
baby.
no, they're going crazy. OG Anunoby, he's an all-star.
You slept. You slept. You slept. Sorry.
He told me Mikal could score more. Remember that conversation.
He shot 6 for 16.
Who?
Mikal.
He sucks. I know. I'm telling
OG
you.
Anunoby's a legit 3-level scorer.
Fucking board yesterday was crazy.
Bro, he's been an elite
Derek
finisher
Brooks
this
had
season.
17 assists. That was.
Now I got a
But he's
question
not
for you
like
guys.
all game.
I'm not saying he's elite. I said he's legit though. He has that ability in his
legit
bag.
3-level scorer.
So
It's fake
I
now.
said what I said.
No, he is.
What?
He's like he's a legitimate two-way star.
Ooh. Okay.
He's
I can
Kawhi
see that more than
reincarnated.
a legit three-way
Come
scorer.
on, baby.
Kawhi,
I
I
see that more.
can't adapt to that, brother.
Like
see that
he's a
one.
mid-range
He's
shooter,
Kawhi
he's a three-point
2.0?
shooter. He could get to the basket.
Not consistently. Like, you're not one-on-one getting to the basket consistently.
He's gonna be the closest we get to Kawhi. Or you're just gonna ignore that every
Yeah,
time I
I'm
say
ignoring
it.
that right now. Yeah. I think it's a wait.
He's baby Claw. He's who Patrick Williams.
Yeah, we can talk. He's who Patrick. We thought Patrick
Exactly.
Williams would be. Yeah.
I seen this tweet from Mikey Grogan's talking about just the All-Star thing. I think it's early to talk about the All-Star
He's
who
got
makes
OG in
it
the All-Star game?
and stuff, but like
Probably does.
we're halfway.
Cat starting 5.
We're
Cat's
halfway to the halfway point of the season. Right now
So
in the
quarter.
East, yes, basically. Right now in the East,
That's so rude.
do the Celtics, Cavs, and Knicks, do all of those three teams have three
Cavs
All-Stars?
might have 4.
Are you saying Derek White?
Yeah, Derek White. Jason
White's been
Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White with the Celtics.
We
Cat,
always knew.
Jalen Brunson, OG with the Knicks, and then with the Cavs, Mitchell, Garland, Mobley.
Allen might get back in.
Garland.
He's playing an All-Star level.
Efficiency is.
Mobley, I'd give him the nod.
You're done. You're done. You're done.
I'm trolling.
You're done. No,
I'm
no.
trolling.
Yeah.
I'm trolling.
This guy's just something wrong with him.
I'm trolling.
Brother, you see his efficiency?
He's OD.
If all those players make the All-Star game,
That's
who's
half
left?
the team. Fuck.
You got what, 6 spots
LaMelo's
left?
going to get in for
LaMelo's
sure.
locked. He might
Giannis
start.
is locked.
Giannis.
Yes, of
Giannis
course.
is a starter.
Is
He is a
Franz
starter.
Wagner in the All-Star game?
Yes.
Reserve.
Probably. Yeah, he'll probably
You get
get
15 spots, right?
Yeah. No, 12.
It's 12.
12?
12.
It is
Shit.
12.
So we're at 11 with Giannis and LaMelo.
I don't know if they're getting 3 a pop.
Now,
I
Cavs
don't
will
know
get
if
4.
Derek
White's
White's not gonna get in.
I don't know if OG is going
I
to get in.
agree.
I don't know if Mobley's going to get in.
Well, the
Nah, Mobley
Miami,
might get in.
the Miami
Mobley
Heat
because
right
the
now,
forwards are not that
Mobley
great.
might get in.
the Miami Heat right now they have 0 All-Stars.
They do have 0.
Unless
They
you
do.
want to count
Jimmy's been
Tyler
playing a
Hero.
little bit better, but
He's the one that's playing the best.
You got Brooklyn with 0.
The Pacers have 0. The Bulls have
Cade?
0.
KD, he'll probably be where Franz will have the winning over him.
Do the Hawks have one? Is Trae Young playing at that level this year?
I wouldn't hate it. He hasn't. How many has he missed? He's missed a few.
He's missed a little bit, but not that many.
he's only averaging, what, 20?
What I
22?
will say,
He might miss.
Jalen's been really good recently.
Jalen who?
Johnson. Really
Oh.
good recently.
I don't think he
I don't
gets
know,
in.
no.
I'm not
All-Star
giving an
though.
all-star
He'd be like
nod.
an
I'm
injury
just
guy.
acknowledging he's been really efficient over these last 10.
Nobody from Philly.
Trae Young is averaging 22.
He probably might not
That's
get
down
Yeah,
for him.
yeah, no,
And the
he's-
assists I think he's number 1 assist, but
in. Damn.
You know, I think
This might be a weak
It's
ass
been
team.
Jalen's squad.
no, for
low-key.
Giannis, LaMelo, these are the top 10 players in scoring in the East. Giannis, LaMelo, Tatum, Cat, Dame, Jaylen Brown, Brunson, Cam Thomas, Mitchell, and Tyler Hero.
honestly, Dame's probably going to get in. We didn't say Dame.
Dimas
Is
probably
he?
gets in. He'll probably
Is
get
Dame
voted
getting
in.
in?
Probably. He's so
He's
popular.
averaging 25.
He's, yeah,
I think gets in.
He's probably in.
Yeah. Dame gets in. Dame gets in.
Yeah.
You feel good about that?
I feel good about that.
I just don't think there's a lot of other players that
Dame or
deserve
Garland?
it over him. Ooh, Garland.
Dame's playing better than him.
I'm not mad.
The Cavs are fucking.
He
they have
is
one
playing better
loss.
than him. Riff.
What?
It's close.
As of recently, he's playing better.
What, the
Recent-
one
what,
game?
2
It's the
games?
ball.
Garland got the efficiency, but
The efficiency is out of this world.
Do you see the numbers when he's on the court and off the court?
yeah,
It's
no,
like
he's
fucking
great.
stupendous.
But I think both of them get in, so I'm not gonna pick between them. I think
true.
they both get in.
You just the way you said
What's
it,
the point
kind
of
of
arguing?
felt.
We all be friends here, you know?
Yeah, it felt a little disrespectful the way you said it.
No, but yeah, I thought that was an interesting question. But NBA takeaways one month into the season.
Here we go.
I have this little thing, this game. It's buying or selling, and
love
there's
that
just
game.
some statements I have. Buying or selling. I'm gonna give you some NBA statements. You tell me if you're buying or you're selling this statement. LaMelo Ball will be on the Hornets 3 years from now.
Selling.
God damn it! I hate his
I don't think.
3
I think,
years
I
from
think
now.
LaMelo ends up in a different market. I don't think Charlotte will be able to build the team good enough around him in 3 years, unless they get the number 1 pick.
What kills me about this question is if you're gonna have LaMelo walk away from your team,
think
when are they ever going to be good? Ever? Are they ever going to be good? No, because LaMelo is the best player that they've had in their franchise. I'll say since Kemba Walker, but we're treading towards areas where LaMelo might be the best player in their franchise's history. Like
Bar's
he's,
not that high.
Yeah,
really
Barnes
isn't that high.
Yeah, I mean,
but you've done so little to surround him, and also I'll say he's been unhealthy. But like this season, early on, you have Brandon Miller, you have him. I get that Mark Williams, we're waiting on him. When are we gonna put legitimate players around him? Like the Pistons, at least put solid role players and players that know that. Malik Beasley's been playing very
this
well.
the first year
That's
they've done it,
exactly
though.
what I
Yeah,
mean.
this the first
At
year they've
least
done it.
this season they made a conservative effort to do
Try-
that.
Put some shooting out there.
Like Josh Green, Grant Williams. I know he was on the team
I'll say
last
this,
year.
Drew.
Trey Mann.
They'll have
Fair,
They'll
but
have,
that was another-
They'll have one more draft to get another guy to put next to
Shit, I don't
LaMelo
know,
and
bro.
B.
The way
Miller.
they're playing, they can make the play-in. They could be the 8th seed and
Oh, they'll
make
be
the playoffs.
fucked if they do that.
I'm buying though because I think LaMelo's either gonna play like he's playing now, and it's like we have a franchise player. Why would we trade him? Or if he keeps getting banged up and he gets injured, like what team is gonna go out of their way to trade for an often injured point guard who has some flaws on defense? You know what I mean?
Orlando.
Orlando would be so fucking
yeah.
cute.
Like, is there not a world where LaMelo just acts out? Like, bro, I don't want to keep
The
losing.
the thing is, he's making his money. He's the number one option.
He gets
His
to do whatever the
usage-
fuck he wants out on the court. He's taking fucking going backwards 1 foot off of the fucking threes.
So
and shit.
well said. So well said. I'm gonna buy this though. I think he will be on the team.
And I like Charles Lee.
I do too.
Even,
I
benching LaMelo
so stupid.
crazy, but I think he's a
sell.
good coach.
What are you doing?
I'm selling. I think he's going to leave the Hornets.
Okay.
Where's he going?
I actually I think he's going to go to the Lakers. I don't know how it's going to happen,
I
but
think Clippers.
I think LaMelo
I can
ends up
see
with
that.
the Lakers.
I could definitely see that.
Oh my god, I would explode.
And I actually think if LaMelo could keep what he's doing up and it's a real thing and not just a 1 month thing in the season
Shit.
on the Lakers, we talk about a ratings problem with the NBA. I think LaMelo could be the potential fix to the ratings.
You heard the slight in the comment.
Oh, trust me, I heard
You
it.
heard-
But
I
I'm
just wanna make
gonna
sure
let
you
it slide because he just said he can come to my
You
Lakers.
heard the slight.
Because him
right?
coming to my Lakers moves the fuck out of me.
What was the slight?
That this is a
LaMelo
month
and
thing.
AD.
Well, yeah.
AD would be
We
what?
have to see if it's a
30?
real thing.
He's not that old, right?
He's 20. He's 30 flat.
Because I've been studying trends and I've been looking at what House of Highlights posts, what Bleacher Report posts, and this has been a thing since LaMelo has been a rookie. You look at the YouTube
Even before that.
You look at the YouTube videos. You look at the amount of views the Hornets games get if LaMelo is on the front of it. You look at how much he has people talking about things. LaMelo is a potential face of the NBA, but like I don't. If people were to put up a poll of who's the most entertaining player to watch in the league between all the young players, give me SGA, Tatum, LaMelo, and Edwards. You think LaMelo is coming in last place in that poll?
No.
No,
Last place is one person.
Who? Tatum?
the winner.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't consider him one of them guys, though.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, all those other dudes are like 3. 4.
I think people like
SGA
watch.
though.
Oh, let's throw John Moran in there too. I think
he's
John
like-
Moran's
he's up at the
box
top of the
office.
list,
Yeah, honestly, John might be one. He might be most visually pleasing to watch. LaMelo might be 2 and might be 3. SGA 4. Tatum 5, unfortunately.
No, he's one of the most entertaining players to watch. So
SGA might drop.
I can hear that
People
too.
hate the way he plays sometimes now.
But yesterday was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. When he
Yesterday
doesn't do
was
like foul
beautiful.
babies, like
there's
hate
people
it.
that do complain about the way he plays. I like
Yesterday
it,
was
though.
a
I do too.
masterpiece.
Yeah. So buying or selling statement: Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner are the next Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown?
And Jaden McDaniels, we're done with that? Just asking.
That's a tough question. I don't want to say they're them two, but I think they're gonna be a really talented duo. So I guess I'll buy it. Yeah,
They're the next best duo or next best
wing duo.
Wing duo, yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
In the league.
I'll say buy it. I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
I agree, and I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise that Paulo got hurt. Of course, we want him healthy. He should be back, somewhere in the next couple of weeks. I think he said before Christmas. But the fact that Franz is showing out in this fashion, he's showing that you could go out there, and if I'm the main guy, I could give you 25 to 30 defense. He's been showing to being the guy for this stretch has, I think, opened up a lot of people's eyes to what he can be. To be Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum's tough though. I mean, this is guys that are going to the Eastern Conference Finals and Finals every single year. Of course, the team around them is great. But like talent-wise, wing duo, I see that.
Jalen Williams can be a top 10 player in the NBA.
J-Dub, I'm selling.
Wait, in how many years? Or just in general?
He can do it.
That's hard to say.
Bro, I'm going to be transparent with you. He's special, man. He's fucking insane. He's an amazing finisher. He's become an amazing shooter. I know last year he was a very efficient at shooting.
Period.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Anthony Edwards is like around the 10th best player.
10 is nuts.
I'm not saying after this year. I'm saying
in general.
Jalen Williams, one day we will view him as a top 10 player.
No, 10 is so high.
If you're the 10th best player, I'm looking at you like you can be the best player on a championship team. Jalen, he's so young that I don't want to say that already. I just don't know if I see that path for him.
That's a tough question. Tough to really pick where I'm at.
He's so efficient. He barely misses. He's an amazing defensive. He's so versatile defensively too.
I think he has the perfect skill set for a number 2.
Can we say top 20? It'll make my life so much easier.
I just feel like what can't J-Dub do? He's a great defender. He was anchoring defensive lineups at center for OKC.
Fucking insane.
If he wanted to, he could score 25 plus a night.
Yeah.
Any given night.
Can he be the engine of an offense?
I think he can be.
That's
question.
my question.
I watch SJ come out. It's against the Kings fair. Last night I watched it. SJ was out of the lineup. They weren't missing a beat.
It's a great offense.
Agreed. But this is also without Chet. No SGA in the lineup. But he's really the guy with the ball in his hands, creating and facilitating to these guys.
I think J-Dub reminds me of Paul George, honestly. I think I say that because
Pete Paul George.
Yeah, I think like PG at a point is a player that you think can do everything. He's a guy who can dribble the ball, he can play make a little bit, can play defense. But is he that player? Is he the Kawhi of a team? Like he can be the number one. I don't know if I'm there yet. So I'll say I'll sell. It's such a tough question to ask, but I'll sell.
And last statement, is this the final year that LeBron, Curry, and KD play at an elite level?
And that is for one person to keep alive.
Who?
I think you know.
If you say he hasn't played at an elite level this year, you haven't watched a single Warriors game.
Elite?
Yeah, he's played the least amount of minutes out of all.
I know.
Doesn't have to do much.
I respect the Warriors team and how deep they are.
No, I don't.
Why?
I don't want to play 12 guys.
I mean, it's the regular season.
Nah, brother, I don't want to.
The whole point is to save Steph Curry for the playoffs. It's brilliant.
I mean, we got to make it.
I mean, you're the 3rd seed right now?
We already choked 2 of them.
I'm selling this.
Next 8.
I'm selling this. The 3 are still unbelievable.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
Because even LeBron, who really this season, more than any season I've ever watched him play basketball, is deferring to AD. He's still doing it at an elite level. He's been an elite number 2 to Anthony Davis. The defense still isn't there, but offensively, what he's able to do for you as a creator, obviously the 3-point shot has been the star for him this season. He's been so efficient. No, I'm selling this 100%. And the way Kevin Durant played early on in the season, he was playing at a top 3, top 5 level at worst. No, I'm selling this.
I'll sell. They're old.
I'm selling too. I mean, you've seen KD play at top level. You've seen Steph Curry, even though maybe it hasn't been as elite, like he still has a moment like game against the Mavericks, right? Like he's still showing you those games where he could be Steph Curry and LeBron James too. So I'm selling. I think we've got at least one more year.
So you said you're selling. They're old. That would mean.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm buying. They're old.
So who's gonna fall off?
Probably Katie or Steph.
Not LeBron.
Fuck no.
I mean, bro, the way KD's playing right now, like it might be the safest say it's him.
I don't think. I think they'll have the elite ability to do it, like come playoff time. But in the regular season, I don't think they're gonna be, especially like probably LeBron or Steph. They're not gonna be one to do it. Like Steph said the other day in a postgame, like he's not really playing for anything in the regular season. So if there are games where he doesn't have to do much, he's not gonna do much.
It's just dangerous because in the West, you have one bad week, you go from the 3 seed to the 8 seed.
No, for sure. That's why we need to trade D'Anthony Melton.
Lakers are 4 seed right now.
I know. That's
Fucking fire.
for sure. The Rockets are like the fucking 2 seed.
So now, Riv, NBA takeaways. What do you got?
I have one. It's the Kings, man. Listen, I really think we loved this team in the offseason. We loved that they got DeMar. We didn't love this team to win a championship or nothing like that. We just thought there'd be a fun, competitive team, a team that really tussle and be in the fight for a top seed. And of course, it's early. I'm not saying it's over or nothing like that. But defensively, this team has been really hard to watch. And on top of the defense, their offense hasn't been as prolific because their three-point shooters aren't hitting shots. Like, you've seen Fox go off 4 or 5 straight games. They're like 1-4 in those games. Yep. They can't be able to capitalize off them. And we've seen in situations that offense get boxed up against certain defenses. Perfect example, the Clippers game. They were able to hone in, build pressure. I mean, the Clippers pretty much lock up a lot of top offenses this year. Warriors and the Kings to be example. Those high-paced, three-point shooting variants, those teams that really like to run it up. The Clippers' length and size was able to really hone in on his offense and really lock them down. For the Kings, though, it's just really hard to fall in love with this team because defensively, they're probably not going to get better. And I know we've seen the Sabonis leap in the three-point shooting. We've seen Fox take a leap or just be great this year. And we've even seen DeMar be great. It still feels like it's still not enough for this team to kind of make the hump. And I know it's still a little bit early. You know, they can obviously change my mind in January and February, but I don't think they have the pieces defensively to, you know, be great. I also don't think the three-point shooting, the Keegan and Kevin Huerter missing three-point shots is not real. Like, these guys are putting their all defensively to try to play defense. They're not able to hit their shots. Oh, I did have another one, actually. I had a question. Not a question, like sort of an idea. Not even an idea, just a thought. Like, the Houston Rockets, they're like the weirdest team in the fucking league. They're one of the worst offenses in basketball, like legitimately.
No, they're top. They're 15.
No, they were before last game. They were 24th,
15th, and they're 15th in offensive rating. I checked today.
No, then before last game or 2 games ago, I must have checked like either 2 or 3 days ago. They were like 24th in offensive rating, but defensively they were like a top 10 unit.
Do you know who they are? The Magic.
Yeah, and it's really weird because you have guys out there like Sengun, who we consider an offensive hub. You have good cutters. I think the main problem is Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green. I think Fred VanVleet's efficiency hasn't been there. You know, he's been a solid playmaker. He's been a scrappy defender, so I understand why you keep him in the starting lineup. You know, he's a better point guard at this point in the game, and, you know, he keeps the tempo up. He keeps pace. He's kind of the leader of the group. Jalen Green, man, he's like shooting, I think, in isolation, like 13% in EFG. Damn. That's actually like fucking insane. And on wide open shots, I think he's worse on wide open shots than contested shots. But his shot diet is pretty poor. I've seen Rockets fans be really upset at him. And I'll check the numbers, what it was 2 or 3 days ago. I did look at it a couple days ago, and I was like shocked by it. But this Houston Rockets team is really weird because defensively, they're balled in. They're locked in. 1-5. They get the best out of their guys. They're really young. They're energetic. They get steals. They get blocks. They get deflections. They play the passing lanes. One-on-one defense they can lock in. Offensively, though, it's really hard to watch this team sometimes. And I think, you know, they're a young team, so you don't need to, like, go try to fix that this year. Or just, you know, you can ride out this young talent for the season and see how it looks. But just watching them play is really like a tale of – it's just really like 2 different teams on one side. And you're right. It probably is Orlando Magic's of last year, like where defensively they're amazing and then offensively they're hard to watch sometimes.
My takeaway, got a couple. Well, one really that I want to talk about more than anything. Dallas Mavericks, in their last 6, they've won 5 games, and what's important to me about that is Luka Doncic has been banged up. Kyrie Irving's been playing incredible basketball this year. But who I want to highlight more than anybody else,
Talk about them wings, man.
I want to talk about Naji Marshall.
That's the only one.
I didn't know that was going to be PJ.
Nah,
Yeah, 17th in offensive rating.
17th right now after tonight.
I need some PJ respect.
I'm not going to respect PJ too much.
It killed me because his quote tweet that was like he's averaging like 14 and 10 on like 38%.
No, literally, it was 45, 35. Yeah. But fine. No.
Look at the record.
Who I really want to highlight is Naji Marshall.
Great,
in the last 5 games, he's averaging 19 on 74% true shooting. Oof. Now, we understood Naji Marshall was last year. He was pretty good as a 3-point shooter. He was a really good defender. His playmaking was underappreciated, but you didn't think he could have highs like this. At least I didn't. He's been playing excellent basketball, and why I need to acknowledge that is because I was very vocal in the offseason talking about the addition by subtraction where you lose DJJ, who in his own right has been playing amazing basketball this year. So at least there I was vindicated.
Take that.
I did not anticipate Naji to play at this level, and I need to give my due diligence and need to respect great basketball when I see it. Naji Marshall has been excellent for them. How he's able to go and go in transition, be a great facilitator in that regard, great finishing at the rim. Over these last couple of games has started to shoot the three ball a little bit better too. On the season, still shooting 28%, but it's starting to trend in the right direction. And then defensively for the Mavericks, what Gafford and Lively bring to them in the front court as rim protectors, unbelievable. Gafford's been great as a shot blocker, but I love watching Lively play because he's such an excellent connector. It's the most underrated part of his game that, of course, all Mavs fans understand and appreciate. But doing this without Luka Doncic, who Luka had already been not playing Luka Doncic-esque basketball, was getting a lot of criticism for his defense. When he gets back, and hopefully he is 100% healthy, this is a great team that the Mavericks have, and I need to give them their acknowledgement on that.
What you say, Dehls?
Nothing, bro.
He said the Mavericks get worse with Luka once he comes back.
They beat fucking OKC and shit.
Here's the thing. They beat the Denver Nuggets without Luka Doncic. Naji Marshall hit such a great big-time clutch three. I mean, the way that he hit it, the stroke on it was fantastic.
Naji's been hooping.
This is the thing, though. Naji Marshall was always going to be a great pickup for the Mavs, and he was the most underrated signing.
We didn't speak about that almost at all in the offseason.
Yes,
we did not.
We definitely had a screaming match.
No,
over
it
Naji
was
Marshall.
Klay Thompson more than anyone.
It was but Klay was the headline. Naji was in the body.
Once Naji Marshall got signed to the Mavericks, I love the move.
Also, I'd be doing a disservice to QG. Quinn Grimes has been playing pretty good basketball in his opportunity too.
The Mavs had a great offseason. They got Naji, Quinn Grimes, and then Klay.
I'm admitting they've really done and exceeded all the expectation that I thought at minimum. But Naji's never played this well in his life.
He has though.
Like this?
Yeah, 2 seasons ago, he started 21 games for the Pelicans. He averaged 15, 5, and 3.
He's averaging damn near 20 points a game.
Yeah, but versus when he was on the Pelicans, when they had their injuries, Naji Marshall would always step in and he would play really well for them. That's why I thought he was when you signed Naji for less money than you were going to give to Derrick Jones Jr., it was a no-brainer because Naji Marshall is equal or just as good, if not better, than Derrick Jones Jr.
Let me ask you, Riv, you saw this?
What?
Naji being this good?
Not this good, but good for them.
Naji's doing this because Luka's out. But like when Luka's playing, Naji will go back to like an 8-9 point per game.
Uplift Naji?
Well, it's not that. It's just the shot opportunities.
I thought he would be a perfect replacement.
I thought the defense would be there. This offense, though, no way. You couldn't have convinced me that at all.
No, but yeah, Naji Marshall, he's great offseason pickup, and the Mavericks are playing some great basketball. This is the best team that Luka's ever had.
I knew I would eat shit by making this my takeaway, but I'm fine to do that because they've genuinely been playing great ball. And you have the nights where Klay's not shooting the best. But the consistency that Naji has shown you on a night-to-night basis, because some nights Klay can be off, but then PJ's on. And then PJ can be off, but now you have Klay.
Open too.
I'll give it to him too. Definitely. He had the OKC game. He bounced back with that game with, I think, 2 points.
Denver down the stretch, he was solid.
And then last game, he did play pretty well against the
PJ
Hawks.
Washington was amazing against Denver.
No, he was.
Yeah, PJ Washington, listen, it's about time. Needle mover, that's what he
is.
He's moving the needle enough to sew garments. That's how good he's moving the needle right now.
No, excuse me. PJ Washington, I will never utter the word needle mover ever.
They traded for him and made the finals.
They also traded for Gafford. We cannot forget that.
Yeah, but PJ Washington and him, they were both.
Who's a needle mover?
For
just in general.
Hey, how we label needle mover?
Dereck White.
A player who makes an impact and impacts winning is a clear upgrade to your team. PJ Washington got to the Mavericks and became one of their defensive stoppers.
Definitely better than Grant Williams.
Yeah.
PJ Washington was one of the main
better
reasons.
Than Tim Hardaway. That's what I really would say. Better than Tim Hardaway by a lot.
PJ Washington was one of the main reasons they won a playoff series.
Probably the reason.
No, yeah. He sees OKC. It's fucking
and
up.
Minnesota. He was dog shit.
Yeah, but the
And
fact
finals,
they got to
he
Minnesota
was
because
dog
he
shit.
averaged 20 against OKC.
Yeah, it's wide open shots. You better fucking make them.
Yeah, he's needle moving. That's
do
what
it
he's
against
doing. He's
Boston.
playing defense.
No, he couldn't do it against Boston. He couldn't do it against Min.
Just
Man, listen, PJ
He wasn't
Wash-
bad against the Clippers.
So
I'll be honest.
would you say Naji Marshall's a needle mover?
Yo, he's been fucking good as
But
fuck,
not PJ
man.
Washington doesn't
He's
get that
been
respect.
better. Najee's been better than PJ this year.
They've been close. They've been close. They're
Najee's
both really good.
He actually can handle the basketball.
PJ could do it
Not
too.
like Naji can right now.
No. Najee's a better playmaker, but I mean, they're both pretty equal.
No. I'd be lying.
It's just
Najee's
you
been
you
hooping.
cannot say Naji Marshall. I love Naji. You cannot say Naji Marshall's a
Love
needle
Naji.
mover, but PJ Washington is not.
I don't even know if I'm calling either of them needle movers.
Yeah, we're having a mid-off.
Gafford, holy fuck, dude, he's been crazy.
He moves the needle, but not PJ.
because you have two dominant enforcers down low.
He's not even the best center on the team.
Exactly, I agree with that.
Some nights he is.
But Lively has been injury prone. He's missed some time, but you can rely on Gafford. He's an amazing shot blocker. He's been a really strong anchor for them, and I don't disagree with you. Lively is definitely the better center because offensively he's better. But Gafford still is one of the
Lively's
most.
better defensively.
I'm fine with that too.
He's just a better player.
Lively's amazing. Lively's genuinely amazing.
No, he is.
But Gafford has moments where he's also amazing too.
Yeah, Gafford is a needle mover. He was
I
a needle
agree.
mover for them.
I
Because
said that when they made the trade.
When they traded for Gafford and
PJ
PJ,
is
they made
not
the
no
finals.
fucking needle mover. He's not.
Did Gafford have any series as good as PJ Washington against OKC?
I don't give a fuck, dude.
Kyrie?
Oh, wow. Cook.
Kyrie did in Minnesota.
He got it.
PJ against
He got
OKC
it.
was
He got
crazy.
it. Kyrie was OD.
PJ against OKC, you can put that
But
against a lot of
here's
different.
the thing.
series.
You
He's better than Luka.
you can't go ghost.
Easily.
You can't go ghost.
Yeah.
And he went ghost against Minnesota, and he went ghost against
He still played good
against
defense.
Against, did he?
Against who?
Did he?
Who he guarded in Minnesota? Jaden McDaniels?
Oh, they played mostly zone.
Oh, yeah, it's not
in
hard to
series.
guard him. No offense.
Yeah. But, I mean, first two series, he got the primary assignment on James Harden in that series
Which one? The first one?
versus the Clippers.
Oh,
yeah.
facts.
And then
facts.
he was guarding SGA for a large portion of the
Oh,
game.
SGA
And that
torched.
was fucking. Yum, 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 yum,
SGA
yum.
torched.
No, thank
That's
God
SGA.
PJ was a demon
Derrick
shooting the
Jones
basketball.
was the primary defender on SGA.
I
in that
know,
series.
but you just said
he
to
torched
me.
I know.
any of them.
You just said to me he was on
he
him.
also guarded J-Dub. And what did J-Dub do in that series?
Okay, J-Dub was not good. J-Dub was not good.
Now I'm looking at PJ.
Isn't Derek Lively like a bottom 10 center in the league?
last five games
Who?
for PJ.
Derek Lively.
27
Bottom
and
10
17
center in the league
against OKC.
Why do you say that?
I'm asking, is he?
Bottom
is?
10? No.
Derek Lively.
Bottom 10?
Bottom 10?
That's
He's
nuts.
been better than your boy Bam Adebayo.
Oh my God.
But he's not
This
better.
year.
But
He's not better.
No, he's not better, but he will be better.
You tried that.
He will be
It
better.
didn't work.
He will be
Shut
better.
that down so quick.
Yeah. No, he might be bottom 10. There's a lot of centers in the league.
He's not bottom 10.
Is
There
he
are a
better
lot-
than Jakob?
I think
Yes.
that's close.
Yes, he is.
Cooking.
Oh my goodness.
So good.
Yakum teeters in like the 15-20 range.
I think Lively's better than Claxton.
Claxton teeters in the 15-20 range.
I can hear that.
I can
He's
hear
better
that
than
too. Claxton's better
They remind me
defensively.
of each other.
They do.
You know, both athletic.
I don't think there's nothing. I don't think it's wrong. Like
Rim protectors, defense first.
centers are kind of like
They're
whatever.
good this year.
Yeah,
Or
they're
just
kinda-
in general.
They're kind of all like the same. You know, once you get outside of the main
yeah,
guys.
Let me
It's
ask
not
you
a
a
big
question.
difference.
Hartenstein or Lively?
Hartenstein.
Okay.
But see, that's like
Yeah,
I'm not really
yeah.
tripping off that. You know,
I'm not either.
like once you get outside of the Porzingis and the Cats, the offensively gifted centers, they're all like
Yo,
the same. dude.
Hartenstein, incredible. He's so fucking
No
good.
troll. Robert Williams or Derek Lively.
Derek Lively.
I would take Derek.
Like, without a
Yo,
question.
Robert's been.
Healthy Robert
That's what
Williams.
Rob's been hoping though.
Without a question, he's never healthy.
That's a good point.
Derek
if he
Lively
is?
is a solid playmaker.
Tell you what, he's due to be healthy.
He's all right.
Connector.
a big, yeah.
Connect.
Yeah,
Let me
he-
choose
he-
my wording correctly.
He doesn't do much for
Really
me to-
good connector because I look at Hartenstein and I see a lot of similarities in Derek
Yeah.
Lively's game too.
Riv.
up?
The Mavs are 5-1 since PJ came back
Yes.
from a 5-game absence, in which when he missed those 5 games, they were 1-4. He's averaging 14 and 10, 2 assists, 1.5 steals, 1 block, 45%
well.
from the field.
I gave these
36%
stats.
from
I
the field,
literally said them.
36% from the 3. Guess what? 92% from the free throw line. He's hitting
How
no
many free
shots.
throws a
He
game?
needs
He's
it.
been-
How many
been
free throws a
solid.
game?
All I know is when he needs to hit
who
them.
cares?
Against the Nuggets, he had 2 clutch free throws.
My God, he's not a needle.
He moved the
mover.
needle in that game for sure.
Cook up a
Yeah.
Derek Lively.
He did.
Would you rather? real quick.
Derek Lively, would you rather would be funny. Any other takeaways, Drew?
No, that's it. I just wanted to show some love to the role players for the Mavs. Honestly,
Takeaways real quick, just to add on to the Houston Rockets point. One big change too, or addition, whatever you want to call it. On the road, they're not fucking terrible. They're 4-3. I don't know if today's game was a road game.
The Rockets?
It was.
5-3 on the road. Last year, they were one of the worst road teams in the NBA. The fact they're doing this with Jalen Green having a down year, and Şengün's been playing better, but offensively,
this is
down
his
year.
year.
The worst year probably of his career. Quick other takeaway: Stephon Castle. He's gonna be the best rookie of this class. He's gonna be the best player in this draft.
We're finally here on
15-5 since being in the starting lineup. 46% from the field, 37% from three. The defense is there. He's got some nice moves in his offensive bag. He had a couple nice like deceleration moves going into the paint. Love Stephon Castle's game. But my main takeaway:
God,
the Timberwolves better know what they're doing. The Timberwolves better know what they're doing because Karl-Anthony Towns is having a career year in New York. He's putting up 26-12. I had to double check the numbers because he's shooting 47% from three. We know what Cat gives you offensively as a center. We know the liabilities defensively as a center. But the Knicks right now are one of the best offenses in basketball. They're second in offensive rating. And the Wolves, on the other hand, they lost tonight, correct? So they fall to 8-9. They are the 11th seed, maybe the 12th seed now. Offense and defense about middle of the pack. They've been this, stout defensive team, really talking about last season. Of course, having Karl-Anthony Towns there, but don't really have that same identity this year. And I say that because I feel like in the Anthony Edwards era, they've made two really big swings, right? The Gobert trade, you trade 5 first-round picks. There was a lot of commotion over that. And then this Karl-Anthony Towns trade, right? For Gobert, year one, a lot of injuries. Nothing really happened. Last year, you go to the Western Conference Finals. It feels like you're finally building something. Once you're building something, you make your second big move. And that was to trade away Karl-Anthony Towns to bring in Julius Randle, who hasn't been bad by any means, right? He's been, I think, what you're expecting, maybe a little bit less in terms of like rebounding specifically, maybe scoring a little bit. But again, a new team has to take time to adjust. But I worry about Minnesota because before Anthony Edwards, we were talking about good and bad organizations with Nerd Sesh. This was a team that went basically 20 years with one playoff appearance. So I don't have the utmost trust in this team to just be able to figure everything out. And in a year or two, they're going to have to figure everything out because as you've mentioned, as we've all mentioned, we think they made this trade to have some freedom down the line to be able to build this team around Anthony Edwards. And they got to hit on some pieces because Conley's getting old. Jaden McDaniels doesn't look like he's making any leap offensively. Julius Randle doesn't seem like he's making or going to be here for the long term. You have some good pieces like Naz Reid, of course. Dante DiVincenzo, although he's been shooting better in the month of November, doesn't look like a real difference maker like we thought he was, especially when you look at New York. But this is a team that was supposed to build on last season. Went to the Western Conference Finals. We're expecting them to be right up there with OKC's, and Denver has been playing better recently, and all of these other teams in the Western Conference, and it hasn't been that. They've been one of, if not the most healthy team in the NBA. Nobody has really missed time when you look at their top 6 or 7 guys.
Yep.
Anthony Edwards has been shooting at a fucking Steph Curry-like clip for a majority of the season. So I'm just saying, Minnesota better know what they're doing because Cat's over there in New York playing his ass off right now.
I'm worried. I'm really worried. I'm worried that the Timberwolves are going to miss the playoffs. I am. This team, they don't look good. The vibes are down. Julius Randle is not buying into his role. His rebounding has regressed. The defense has never been there for him. Offensively, it still is a very weird fit. Then we talk about the bench. Dante DiVincenzo is supposed to be a great player off the bench. He has really struggled. There's such a major load on Anthony Edwards to just save this mess. And I do believe that the trading Cat was made to get free from the books. So Anthony Edwards later down the line, they could build a team around him and have some Cat flexibility. But with that being said, they took a major risk. You made the Western Conference Finals. You were a couple games away from the NBA Finals. This was your best team. We all knew that having Cat on the roster this year gave them the best chance to make a playoff run. They traded him to get free off of his contract, but now they might be in a worse position moving forward. And Tim Connolly, like you mentioned, Dehls, like he has to hit on offseason signings, on the NBA draft. He has to be perfect to make sure that trading Cat wasn't a massive mistake. And with how the Timberwolves are playing right now, you question everything. You question if Chris Finch is the coach for this team. That's how bad they're playing right now. Anthony Edwards, he's a great young player, but what's going on in Minnesota, he can't mask what's going on right now. They're a mess, and they look like a mess.
I want to give one last takeaway. The Lakers defense is horrible. It's so terrible to watch, and it's upsetting to me because we have arguably the best defensive player in the world in Anthony Davis, and he cannot anchor us to be a top 15 defense. It's just so bad. Draymond's one of the best defensive players of all time, and that's not a knock on AD, so I'm glad that you said that. You look at them and their lack of perimeter defense, their lack of help behind Anthony Davis, and that's also LeBron James included.
Yeah.
LeBron James at near 40 years old, will be 40 in the month of December. He's not a good defender at this point in his career. He hasn't been. In moments when you need him to be, yeah, he can pick it up an assignment, and he can definitely give you good defense for moments, but for an entire game, he's not going to do that for you. We have D'Angelo Russell, who is a negative.
Yeah.
On all aspects of the game right now. He's been pretty solid now as in his new role off the bench. That's something that maybe intrigues me, but his defense is so bad. Our defense as a whole on the perimeter is not good at all. Right now, I believe we're 27th in defensive rating. We're one of the best offenses in the league. We're 10-6. We're fourth in the division, fourth in the conference. I shouldn't be this upset about it, but why I get so pissed off is because I've been asking for 3 years now, get me a backup big, please. Anthony Davis can't do this alone. He's shouldering the load, not just offensively, but defensively as well now, because every night he has to give you 30 because that is now what he needs to do. He's one of the best in the world. He can give you that. But on top of giving you 30, he needs to be the best defensive player in the world every night if we want to win basketball games. And that's simply not going to be the case when our perimeter defense is this poor. I say this where we need to be active at the deadline. I need Cam Johnson or Dorian Finney-Smith with a combination of a big of some sort. I'm not going to get unrealistic and ask for clacks. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be way too expensive for what we can go and buy. But I need legit perimeter defense, and I need us to get some level of a backup big for Anthony Davis, because where we stand right now, this is not a contending level defense.
So before we ended off with my would you rather, did want to correct myself a little bit. Houston Rockets on cleaning the glass. In points per possession, they're ranked number 11th in the league at 115.2 a game. Their win difference is 28th in the league at minus 2.0. Now, their EFG is bottom of the league. It's ranked 27th. It's 50.5%. So, yeah, they're not really efficient, but turnover percentage, they're fourth in the league in 12.4. Offensive rebounding percentage, they're second in the league.
All right.
34.5. Free throw rank, they're 18th at 19.3. So, they're not efficient, but they do get their own misses. They can put up points, so that does help their offensive points per possession.
Now, Riv, before you go, I will say this.
Cook up, King.
I think what we've seen so far 1 month through the season is that depth is key. The top teams in the conferences all have amazing depth.
It's true.
The bottom teams, like the Kings, they don't have any depth, and that's why they're at the bottom. I also wanted to say this. With Karl Anthony Towns having this season, he's on pace to have the best season of his career. Mm-hmm. The New York Knicks don't miss.
No.
Leon Rose, since he's been in charge, they don't miss.
He's been near perfect.
Jalen Brunson was signed.
Mikhail's been decent.
Come on, relax.
The trade was bad. It was a lot of picks.
Are we calling it a not miss?
He's a good player.
You messed up the
He's
flow.
a good player.
You messed up the flow right now.
He's a good player. Pricey.
You messed up the flow.
Let's
get to it. Let's get to that timeline. You messed up the flow right here, mister. Okay, number one. Leon Rose brought in Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, nobody thought he was an all-star level player, let alone a superstar player. He comes to the Knicks, and he exceeds everybody's expectations, and he's one of the very best point guards in the league. Isaiah Hartenstein, he was a backup with the Clippers. He showed flashes at times, but he was never viewed as one of the better centers in the league. Leon Rose signs him. He becomes one of the better centers in the league to the point that he is swayed away from OKC offers him a bag.
$30 million annually.
He could be the starting center.
Yep.
Dante DiVincenzo was inconsistent. He got traded to the Sacramento Kings, did not play well there. He goes to the Warriors. He plays well. The Knicks take a chance on him. He has the best season of his career. We look at the draft picks. Deuce McBride. He didn't get an opportunity for a long time. He finally gets one, and he's playing the best basketball of his career. Quentin Grimes was also a hit.
Emmanuel Quickly.
You trade RJ and Emmanuel Quickly for OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby now is playing like an all-star for the Knicks. And then, just as of recently, you trade Randall and Dante for Karl Anthony Towns, and Karl Anthony Towns is having the best offensive season of his entire career. Josh Hart is another one. You trade for him at the deadline. He's playing the best basketball of his career with the Knicks. It is a given at this point. When the Knicks make a move for a player, they tend to play the best basketball of their career, no matter how well known or not that they are. If you want to say Mikal Bridges isn't playing the best, I won't push back too much on that. But Mikal Bridges also, now with the ascension of OG, he is behind Brunson and OG and Cat in the pecking order, and he's just playing his role. I understand 5 first-round picks, but when you look at the Knicks right now, what Leon Rose is doing, this is one of the very best organizations in basketball.
So are you all in now?
At this point, I'm kicking myself that I didn't believe that the trade would go down and be as good as this right now, because Leon Rose has shown that he doesn't miss.
So are you gonna
He doesn't miss.
You didn't like the trade
because every matchup that he's had against a good big, he's been amazing.
I didn't like the trade because it was a trade to get us to the championship, and I don't know if it did that.
Then you watched Boston whip your ass. You really didn't like the trade. Now you're back in on the trade.
Well, listen,
the trade that is the one, if any, that the Knicks fans should be questioning. It's Mikal.
That's the one.
The Cat trade is an A++++. It is unbelievably great.
Well, listen, I'll say this.
Why? Because Randall has not been anywhere near the level of Cat, and Dante is so bad to the point where Minnesota's talking about getting rid of him.
And that's a big thing. That those players not playing well is a big thing
for sure. I think for
and
Cat,
he's hooping.
For it to be A++, Cat has to like really go
Has
crazy
he not?
in the playoffs.
I'll say this.
I say where we stand right now, because where we stand right now, Mikal's trade's back.
The
Knicks will be judged on how far they make it in the playoffs with Karl Anthony Towns. With that being said, I thought losing Randall and Dante might have been worse for the Knicks, but it's not, because Dante's not playing well and Randall's not playing well. So now it's like a clear win. But I also think there's two different objectives. The Wolves wanted to clearly just clear the books and stuff, and I still believe they did want to do that. But no, this trade is a win off the fact that, and I think it is a win off the fact that Cat is having the best season of his career.
Yeah, I think like so far the trade has been great. I think what's making it a lot easier is Randall and Dante haven't seamlessly fit over there in Minnesota. But if we're being like honest, you guys were going to make the playoffs with either situation. Like whether Randall was there, Dante was there, or whether you had Cat was there, you guys were going to be a perennial playoff team. The goal and the objective right now is you were a game away from the Eastern Conference Finals and your team was banged up. You got Cat now. Cat is playing at the highest level of his career so far. If you don't make it to the ECF, or if Cat struggles in the playoffs, now you're looking back at it like, damn, $55 million for a guy who just gave us another Julius Randle playoff moment. So I think that's where the
ceiling is just higher now.
Yeah,
I do think, outside of Boston, I think the Knicks can beat anybody in the East.
I think Cat is putting, which is fair, he's putting expectations on himself and the team as like, now I'm playing at this level. We can go far.
Like an unsustainable heater, shooting damn near 50% from three. Yeah. Like it's gonna come down.
Karl Anthony Towns has been.
It's gonna come to 40.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a 40% shooter.
It's just just looking at the moves that Leon Rose has made.
50's too high.
There's really no bad move that he's made. Like every move has been, it's been so much better than expectation. And did I think Cat would average like 24 and 10? Yeah, but he's averaging close to 28. He's averaging 12. He's one of the league leaders in rebounds. Like,
look, bro. Even if you want to take it a step further with OG, he was criticized for giving OG $40 million. OG has been unbelievable to start this year. The offensive leap that he's taken this year is beyond anybody could have imagined. The only thing that people are going to hold on to is Mikal for 5.
OG's got to stay healthy too.
But I don't disagree. That's a fair point. But when he's been on the court, he has been
it's just staying on the court.
Arguably the most impactful player for the Knicks.
Yeah. Mikal trade, it's not even because I think Mikal's been playing fine. It's just you're giving up 5 first-round picks for a guy, as you mentioned, is now your number 4 option. When it's like you could have used these picks and players to plug holes in other situations, like maybe a rim protector, like someone that could play next to Cat, but maybe not throw out completely throw off the flow you have going on in offense. It's just you basically put all your chips into this core, whereas like Cat probably would have been enough. I know the McHale trade was first, but like obviously having hindsight, Cat would have been enough. Save those assets when the trade deadline comes, next offseason comes. How do we, fix this roster around what we have?
If McHale can just lock in defensively while giving you 14, 15 a night, 14, 15 a night with all NBA level defense, you take that to the crib with the way that OG Anunoby has been playing offense and will play defensively and how versatile he is as a defender.
Is this OG sustainable? Like, is this what OG is now, or is he just?
I legitimately think it is. Do I think it'll be this efficient? Of course, it'll come down a little bit, but he has been and has shown this season to be aggressive, at least going downhill, putting the ball on the court, which was a concern last year for people and Knicks fans.
He's attacking closeouts much better.
And that is all you can ask for. And Jalen Brunson, who does not get enough praise this season, as I spit everywhere. I feel as if people are trying to minimize Jalen Brunson because he's not averaging 28, 29 like he was last season. He's still shooting 47% and 38, 39% from three while averaging 25 a night. What he's doing better than anyone had anticipated is allowing Karl Anthony Towns to eat, allowing OG Anunoby to eat, allowing Josh Hart to hold the basketball, allowing McHale to get his. He's being a legitimate point guard while also being a great efficient scorer and maximizing his opportunity. Jalen Brunson is starting to get dragged in conversation where I saw that post that you responded to with Jalen Brunson, LaMelo Ball, Kyrie Irving, and De'Aaron Fox. Jalen Brunson's still better than all of them. He's just not doing it at the volume that these other guys are because he has other players that he can trust. Jalen Brunson is still one of the best point guards in the league. It's that simple.
He's averaging more assists on the same amount of turnovers that he did last year. He's averaging one more assist. So.
OG's only taken 24 mid-ranges. It'll probably be efficient. He doesn't take like a shit ton.
So, Riff, you finishing
Yes,
us off?
I did. So let's finish off with a nice old-fashioned throwback. Would you rather Dereck Lively edition? We're trying to find out where he ranks in the league.
Lively.
First name up, Drew's favorite center, Jakob Poeltl.
It's Dereck Lively.
It's close.
Shout out to Jakob Poeltl, though.
Jakob's been so fucking good.
Jakob's been a dog.
Last year he was good too when he played.
Jakob is a good player.
He is a good player.
Talk. Who do you think's better?
I'm going to take Jakob Poeltl.
It's just, what do you want?
What do you
know
want?
what I mean? It's like, what do you want in your center?
They both can defend.
I was going to say.
He's not. I know. I think Lively gives you higher upside defensively.
What about offensively?
Offensively,
It's fucking sex on a
They
screen.
run their offense through Dereck Lively sometimes. The Mavericks do. He's such an amazing passer.
He is.
I would go
Amazing,
Jakob.
strong.
He's for his position.
Oh, got me.
Yeah,
You say that?
yeah.
Got
For
me.
his position, he is.
You going where?
Jakob.
Oh, 2-1 Jakob.
I respect. He gave the Celtics 30. I respect it.
Next name up, Miles Turner.
I'm going with Dereck
This
Lively.
one's a higher upside offensively,
I'll take-
lower upside
Miles
defensively.
Turner just offers little to nothing defensively.
I would take Dereck Lively.
I agree.
I know he's a good shot blocker. The numbers look good, but
Offensively, though. Woo!
the defense
It's
is
amazing.
non-existent for the most part. It's not.
So you're going
I'm going
Lively.
Dereck Lively.
I'm going to take Miles Turner.
There we go.
I think a spacing big in today's league is still super valuable. He's not a great defender. I'm not going to disagree with you, but spacing the floor as a big man, every team can use that.
He actually might be one of the worst defending centers.
I'm not
in
going to disagree
Yeah, for sure.
at all. I won't.
Next name up, Jared Allen.
I'm going to
I'll
take
go
Jared
Jared
Allen.
Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Zubac. This is really for you.
I would
Going
go Zoo.
Dereck Lively.
I would go Zoo.
Ah, brother.
He's been playing
This
out
is
of his mind
this
this year.
is for you, bro.
He's a good defender too.
He's been a good defender, bro.
Yeah.
Give me Derek.
Interesting.
Casuals.
He's also a good passer for his position.
Yes.
He
What
is.
could say. Rudy Gobert, the guy he talks shit about.
I don't know. Wolves got like the fucking 14th best defense right now. What's going on?
You want me to look up Rudy's on off?
I think the thing with Rudy Gobert is that obviously he's a generational defender, but offensively you can't trust him to pass. You can't trust him to put the ball
me
on the
Dereck
floor.
Lively, man.
You can't trust him to
me
finish
Dereck
down the
Downfall
basket.
of Rudy Gobert is what I'm fucking here for.
How much might not like that one? Who you going with?
So I'm gonna go with.
This is both your fandoms.
Man, no. I mean, I'm thinking about it. If Rudy Gobert was on the Mavericks, I mean, how much different do they look really? Like the Mavericks
They're
made the
number one defense
finals.
in the league.
The Mavericks made the finals with an elite defense off the strength of Gafford and Lively's rim protection. I'm going Dereck Lively. I like to touch around the rim
feel
better.
like Luka
I like
make
the
Rudy
passing better.
Look promising on offense.
I'll take Rudy.
I here to take Rudy. Next name up, Isaiah Hartenstein.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Give me IH.
Walker Kessler.
Dereck Lively.
Dereck Lively.
I'll take Lively.
Onyeka.
Lively.
Dereck Lively.
Yeah, Lively.
Last name up, Bam Adebayo.
Bam.
No Claxton?
Nah, I didn't really have Claxton.
You put Zoo, but not Clax?
Yeah.
Walker Kessler.
You're moving nasty.
I had to put some weird ones in, see where he really is, and we come to find out he's probably a bottom 10.
Midnight. I was close.
All right, well, that's going to do it for
3 hours,
episode
baby.
430 of the Pick Aside
Smooth
Podcast.
Tuesday fucking night. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Enjoy the dinner.
that.
Enjoy Thursday.
Yes.
Send your plates.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Yams?
Actually?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm not a huge sweet potato guy. I'll respect that. I will say stuffing.
Not a huge stuffing guy.
Wow. You know what? I'll be transparent. What's changed my life on stuffing? Hanging out with Alexandra's family. That Jewish stuffing goes nuts.
I'm very curious to hear yours. Turkey?
I love some nice dark meat turkey, man.
Actually,
dark meat
gravy?
turkey.
I ever tell you what changed my life? I'll tell you what changed my life. Prime rib on Thanksgiving.
That smacks.
Oh
I
my
don't-
God.
If we're counting that as Thanksgiving, I never had it for Thanksgiving.
Do you have
Prime-
chicken
I'll
wings
tell
for
you-
Thanksgiving?
Jewish Thanksgiving is
Chicken mouse.
promoted.
I would love to. Am I
Cut 'em
right?
out. Yeah. It'd be funny looking, but you can definitely walk up in there.
You'd stand out for sure.
Easily.
I feel like nothing's better than some mac and cheese, some creamy spinach. I love creamy spinach.
I
Really?
love cream
Yeah.
spinach smacks.
I'm a big cabbage
It's really
guy.
good.
Okay.
That's my greens.
I like
big
that.
cabbage guy.
I'm surprised no mashed potatoes said at all.
Not a mashed potato fan. My dad.
What are you a fan
loves
of?
I love mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I'm not a big mashed potato fan. My plate will usually be, I'll get some mac and cheese, a little bit.
course,
I like
have
the
to.
inside of the mac and
You
cheese.
have to suffer through it. I suffer every time. I eat it. I like it.
I like the juicy part, the one that really comes out.
Of what?
The mac and cheese, when
Got
it's
it.
gooey and stuff. I got the ham. Get my chicken wings.
Need a ham.
You got to get the bread. You always got to get the bread.
But
But like the
croissant?
Pillsbury Farm,
We get the Jamaican rolls.
love that.
Yeah, we get the Jamaican rolls. I'll add a little spinach sometimes, some yellow rice for sure. We have that. A little cabbage. That'd be a mixture of my plate throughout the day. Stuff like that.
Sounds lit.
That's going to do it for episode 430. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick Aside Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Aside Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out
Happy
there.
Thanksgiving,
Thank you
Pookies.
for listening or watching, and we'll see you guys next time.